waiting on retail sales data as we have a little bit of a graphic issue to start things off this morning. There we go. Hi. Let's talk about some retail sales data coming through. I actually don't see it on my screen yet. I'll let you know when that does populate. But futures back to the upside here this morning. I was just noting 6 days, trying to make it 6 days in a row here for the NASDAQ, specifically coming off what happened on Wednesday. Fed Chair Powell comes out and more or less indicated that, yeah, there's going to be no less than 3 at this point rate cuts, I almost said hike, rate cuts coming up in 2024. And that's definitely helped things out as far as individual stocks are concerned. As far as tech is concerned specifically, we had the Dow at all-time highs. We have the NASDAQ flirting with all-time highs. We have individual stocks, including Apple, back on watch today. Back at all-time highs. A lot to discuss this morning. It's Thursday, December 14th, 2023. Tradertv.live starts now. We have no intro this morning, so we'll just carry on. It's live TV. It's all good. A lot to talk about here this morning as we get going on a Thursday morning. A ton to get to as far as I'm still waiting for this retail sales data. It's not populating on my screen either. We'll get to that when it comes through. But as I mentioned, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row here. These are the Qs, obviously, the NASDAQ, but very, very positive, not only once again this morning, but coming off of the reaction from Fed Chair Powell yesterday. We had, I mean, all signs point to, as I said, a minimum, now it looks like, of 3 cuts coming through next year.
Yeah, that's a marked change from what we were hearing last time around, Brendo, especially this higher for longer narrative that we kept hearing about. We weren't really sure when the rate cuts were going to come in, especially with the previous dot plot that we had, the new one really giving insight into what the Fed is looking at. Are you able to come to my screen, guys? Yep. Okay, so let's have a look at the yields, Brendo, because the 2-year and the 10-year absolutely tanked yesterday. The 2-year is down 3 1/4 on the day, 1.14 for the 10-year, and the 10-year is below 4% for the first time since midsummer. So yeah, good look here for equities, and good luck maybe possibly for good trading today.
Yeah, the plummeting yields continuing here. Even the shorter term, 6-month out to 2-year, that kind of window I saw this morning as well, all down huge across the board. So, I mean, you and I were talking about this before we got to the Fed announcement yesterday, in the sense that it was impossible for him to come out and not indicate at least something had changed. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he finally did. And we've been sitting here waiting. I mean, I've had numerous conversations with our friends over at IG in Chicago on this as well, on the fact that we've been waiting for some sort of indication that they've actually shifted and these cuts are coming. And finally, we got that language yesterday.
Yeah, and he was widely interpreted yesterday as being dovish. He was given multiple opportunities by reporters during the Q&A to sound a bit more hawkish, and he didn't take any of those opportunities. So, widely interpreted as being more of a dovish speech, and, you've seen the markets react.
All right, my page has finally refreshed, so I can show you this now. Here's the November retail sales print, 0.3 to the upside on the month-over-month number, negative 0.1 print expected there. Export prices for November, negative 0.9 versus negative 0.1 expected. So retail sales pointing to a little bit of strength coming through. We also got initial jobless claims for last week, downside as well, 202,000 versus 220,000 expected there. If you pull out cars, autos out of that retail number for November, 0.2 positive print versus a negative 0.1 print expected there. So more data. Here we go, guys, to kick things off. Should support things. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back, Obi. How was your evening?
What the hell was that?
It was good. It was all right. Good. A little uneventful, but got some good rest.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah,
How about yours? How was yours?
Good. Yeah, not too bad. We had my daughter had a practice, so we just went to that and had some fun. It was a pretty good day overall. But what a market yesterday. See if we can get it going today. We just got some of those numbers out. The market did fall down. Now it's being bought right back up. I mean, what a move in the banks yesterday. We were just talking about that. What a move in the payment processors. Affirm, Upstart, killing it yesterday in the afternoon there. We're going to be looking at Palantir today. SoFi yesterday was so good. Good morning to everybody that's here with us as well. Yeah, Neil did get a little bit younger. there today, a little more hair as well. Yeah, no, look, I think it's going to be good. So I want to look at SoFi. I want to look at more payment processors. Bitcoin right now, I just had to restart my my Chrome. Come on. But we just had to move up and down here. Like, what is going on here? Hold on a second. Let me go to a 2-minute chart. Nice little drop there. Bitcoin just dropped almost $1,000 right there. 43 down to 40. Actually, we went lower than that. 41.7. So I'm trying to find out what's going on here, because if that was, was that on the PPI? Like, I don't know, man. A pretty big drop starting basically right at 830. So that's a huge move down. So I want to be watching out for some GBTC today, maybe some Mara as well. But yeah, quite a nice move down there in Bitcoin. We'll have to find out about what's going on with the altcoins, as month over month their US core sales green, up 0.2 versus minus 0.1. So remember I talked about this yesterday with you? And I've been talking about this with some other people. Maybe it wasn't with you, I apologize. Just how much we spend. Like, remember we were talking about Visa?
Oh, yeah.
And we're just talking about over and over again. And it's here we go, retail sales up again. Talk about somebody that spends a lot of money. Here he is right here. It is Randy in the building one more time. I came in today and I'm like, oh man, it's a little bit chilly. I come out of the parking garage and this guy's chilling out with a coffee outside in his short sleeves. And I was like, but you know what? It is going to be, what is it today? Oh, it's -1 right now, Randy. Minus. And it's going up to 3 or 4 today and then 10. 6 today and 10 tomorrow. But I like that look, man. The open, the open neck, the toque.
It is
man,
freezing
Randy lives
outside. FYI, it is freezing outside.
I know, well, that's what I'm saying. It depends on who you talk to, I guess, Obi, in all of that. But all right, cheers.
Cheers.
What do you got, a tea or a coffee?
Coffee.
Coffee. Remember that one time you had, I think it was like 1 extra coffee on the show with me? And then your trading
it was like an
you were on
espresso in the
crack?
morning. Yeah. No, you could see how erratic my entries were. I was just like,
man,
that's the
that
caffeine
doesn't-
putting in the work, So
No, it's 10, Renata, it's 10 Celsius we're talking about. It's right now it's 32 degrees Fahrenheit right now here, 32. So that's 0, right? I just says -1, so it's like 28, something like that. All right, to the 2 guys who are always cold as ice. Nah, they're so nice, these guys. All right, Sharif and Brando, let's go.
Has nothing to do with temperature, though.
No.
Just straight up. Here's how things wrapped up. If you missed it yesterday, what a day it was right across the board. It was actually, look at the Russell at the end of the day when all is said and done, 3.5% for small caps. Coming off that move from Mr. Powell, 1.4, we'll call it 1.4 and 1.4 for the NASDAQ. The S&P and the Dow gets to all-time highs, gets above 37,000 for the first time, and closes easily well above that as well. So it's going to be a question of not if, but when going into 2024, when we'll start seeing some of these cuts coming off. But as you were mentioning this morning, I mean, the 30-year flirting with 4%, the 10-year already through 4%. For the first time since August. So the market is suggesting that could come a lot quicker than we think.
Yeah, and you know what I'm looking for now, Brendo, is the uninversion of the longer dated and the shorter dated Treasury note. We know that the inversion was supposed to signal the possibility of a recession, and then some others came out later and looked at more data and said the uninversion will be when we really know it's around the corner. So we'll have to wait and see. Currently, the 30-year is at 4.1, the 2-year is at 4.3, which typically doesn't make sense because you're supposed to get a higher yield for taking that duration risk, and obviously we're in a bit of an anomaly situation at the moment.
Yeah, it's the inversion that never ends. It seems like it anyways. It's been forever. 2.5% right now, we'll call it 2.4% for oil. Back to the upside. Here's Oxy, 2.4% as well, echoing that, 58. 75, 58, we'll call it 75 coming into play. Warren was in there over the past couple of days buying up Oxy once again as we got back down to that 56, 55.5 level. If you zoom out, you'll know why on a daily chart.
Yeah, and he made no bones about the fact that he's buying at that level. And if you look at the chart, you can just see where the clear support level is. Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, I was reading a little article this morning that says we're probably going to have continued weakness in the energy space into the new year on slowing demand, especially from China. So we'll have to wait and and see how Oxy holds up. But it looks like he's in it for the long run now, 27% stake.
And 588 million worth of shares in addition to what he already had coming his way over the past couple of days here. But yeah, I mean, if you zoom out, as I said, you'll see why on the daily chart. But nice move here, guys, for Oxy today.
Oh, Oxy.
Yeah. Obi's looking up ExxonMobil, but I mean, I have the chart right here. I mean, look, every night, this is the one thing that we're doing with the market recap show is that we're looking at more at ETFs and then, more at sector-specific names. So like ExxonMobil, which is what Obi was just looking at, Occidental, Chevron, right? We can look at the XLE if you want to look at that. But look at these levels. This goes back all the way summer of 2022. So play the depressed price here when there's nothing wrong with the company. I mean, it's as oil goes, a lot of these names are going to go. So if you're going to sit here and look at something like an XLE, which is the energy ETF, hopefully this chart doesn't take forever to load. Hopefully, so this is still Oxy. Oh my God, that didn't even change. There you go. You see that? I changed. That was hilarious. Why did that do that? Okay, so here, let me have to let it load again. What I was getting at is that as the price of oil continues to sort of fluctuate and really move lower, you're going to get some decent price levels here. XLE still has a little bit of a ways to go because XLE is not USO. This is not the United States Oil Fund, of course. This is a Spider Trust. But you're still getting into levels here where I feel like you can buy. I'm in a similar name to XLE here in Canada, but I think you buy more of this. And if you like some of the names as individuals and you want to grab the dividend, XOM sitting at, I think it's 3.5% or so. You're going to get a very, very nice level here of $98, $100. The same thing for Chevron. We just talked about buybacks being at record highs right now in the market. And why is that? I mean, think about what we just saw, what we sort of started the show with. The Fed has sort of signaled, at least 100 basis points worth of cuts coming through into next year. As rates get better, companies are going to buy back their stock. Because of these depressed levels in which cost of borrowing has been so high, now you can't, to invest your money as the rates come back down, Obi, into for savings accounts. I mean, they're not putting into savings accounts, but your money, cash, was getting 5-6%. Now, as rates come back in, and we saw yesterday the 10-year, getting down near to 4%. So now all of a sudden, that money that's in the bank is worth a little bit less. So why not buy back stock? So I feel like as long as XOM and Chevron and Occidental have good quarters moving forward, then I think these are going to be good prices, especially for the long term. The thing about me is, I wonder if when we're talking long term, how long term is oil going to continue to possibly be in favor? Is that something you want to be invested in? ExxonMobil has spent a lot of money, though, in green energy as well and trying to develop different aspects of that. So I feel like everyone has to do their own work, but to be diversified is something that a lot of us try to get into our portfolios. And I think oil is something you need to buy. Did you guys, we'll talk about oil, but did you see gold yesterday as well? The GLD took off yesterday on that on that release. Look at this move, 184 for GLD, straight up to 189. Gold looking to go burr as well.
Wow.
Not just me outside looking to go burr. Gold yesterday off 2 o'clock. Let's look at this. Look at this spike. 184, dude, straight up $4, straight to the upside.
That's so gold actually hit all-time highs last week.
All-time highs?
That's what this looks like.
Okay, yeah.
1995, 1973.
Okay. Sure.
Last week, we pretty much, I guess maybe the trader in me looks at this and sees, is this a failure to follow through? But yeah, we clipped all-time highs, and we're just hanging around in that area on gold there. But
yeah, that's right. Yeah, the GLD up to 192. Yep, you're right. Yep.
Going back to this Oxy, I didn't know that Buffett was kind of holding the line here at what did you say, like 55, 56? He keeps buying it.
Yeah,
up?
I mean, he keeps coming in and they, well, it's like that news story comes out, and what a surprise, it comes out right when we're at the bottom. So.
Yeah. That's very, very peculiar there, but very distinct.
No, but it's good. It's good investing.
Yeah. I mean, it's
27% of the company. It's basically what I was saying about company buybacks. Like, imagine not only is your company buying back shares, but you have this super uber rich, man and company that can come in, that they're the 8th largest holding in the S&P 500, Berkshire.
It's not
and now they own 27% of Oxy. And 51% of his portfolio is Apple. So Sharif over there, I knew that was going to happen. What a surprise. I was literally just saying his name, and then there it is. Yeah. And me and you and everybody should be celebrating as Apple right now, pennies away, Sharif. From that 198.23 ATH, gold all-time high, Bitcoin not all-time high, oil not all-time high. But there's a lot silver moving as well. Moderna up 13%. Eli Lilly rocking and rolling right now. I mean, if you're not long, BAC, I see in the chat. People loving banks. JP Morgan 162. Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, SoFi $9.
You think it's because of inflation?
Well, it's Fed pivot.
Because here's the thing. Everyone's like, inflation's cooling or inflation's still here. Why are prices going up? But to me, inflation naturally just increases the prices. Like, you need more dollars to buy the same things.
Right.
Yes or no?
But people are getting more dollars.
What I'm seeing right now, yeah, for sure, 100%. But with the amount of money that was printed in the past few years, I feel like we still haven't maybe seen the full effect of that, and the fact that everything is just melting up almost, pretty much, is like, it kind of makes sense. You're like, okay, why are all these things all-time highs? But you need more dollars to buy the same stuff.
Yeah, that's always going to be. Feel like that's always going to be the truth. Remember, we just got retail sales was up. We talked about credit cards. People want to spend money.
Right.
So, like I said, if I get a raise, I'd probably go out to dinner, or maybe buy that extra sweater, or you buy something for your kid. So although you're getting that money, you're then going ahead and spending it as well, which does add to the inflation problem as well. So, but yeah, that was the problem, right? Everyone was spending like crazy. We had that huge boost up, and the Fed had to step in. But we were also saved this year. Think about this year. We were also saved by the bank bailout, basically, right. $400 billion that was added in liquidity for Silicon Valley and First Republic, right? So there was a few things that happened this year for sure. All right, is it blue skies, boys, ahead, or what do you think?
I don't see why not at this point.
I agree.
The market's definitely saying
we're knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Of all-time highs.
Let's talk about Moderna here. We were discussing Pfizer yesterday. Moderna down on that as well, but here we are. This is going back to the beginning of the year. 52, we'll call it 53% on the year downside for Moderna. A nice positive story here today. Nice move to the upside, 12% on this result on this skin cancer treatment.
Yeah, I love headlines like this, Brendo. Look, here's the deal. There's a vaccine component to this, and then there is the Keytruda component. The vaccine, the mRNA technology that's owned by Moderna, the Keytruda part that's owned by Merck. They're combining the two to help alleviate, obviously, the condition of melanoma skin cancer. 49% success rate, and for those who had it and then had surgery and then continue to take the drug, there's a 62% chance that they won't get it again. Also, Brendo, this is one of those custom-made vaccines. The article here says the vaccine, which uses the same mRNA technology as Moderna's COVID vaccine, is custom-built on the analysis of the patient's tumor after the surgical removal. So it's interesting how they're going to be able to scale that if it's customized.
Much needed, obviously. So as I said, very positive story. But I mentioned when I sat down, when I came in this morning to you, it's amazing how, it's 10.5% now, but 12% on this daily chart just barely even registers for mRNA.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Moderna move is absolutely wild there. I'm looking at the news here. phase 2 study, and I think some of the things we're saying they've started onto their phase 3 as well. But take a look at this. I'm looking at kind of this support from yesterday. Very strong move off the catalyst. Now this is kind of funny to me because just a couple of days ago, or I think it was yesterday, Pfizer and both Moderna were down on negative COVID vaccine sales or projections, and then they come out with this news right after, and it wipes that move pretty much and breaks through that 82. So I think just looking left at that high 84. Again, some promising news, and we've caught a bit off of it. I'm curious to know how strong that bid actually is, and let's see if this resistance turns into a little bit of support today on the day, or we just continue this strong pre-market trend forward. But yeah, Moderna, very strong company. We've seen how it can move during COVID, and they definitely provided a lot of value to the world in a time of need. And yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of attention on this name whenever they report, I think.
Like, I mean, it's kind of like when you were saying yay sports. I mean, I feel like yay science, you know, and I just think that betting, you know, betting against science is not going to be a good move. And I think you're going to be on the wrong side of history when you're doing that. Now, the only thing is you know, it's going down for reasons, right? And I mean, this is a good story. Maybe we're up a little bit too far. We were up 13% when I came in, so you're pulling back about 2% from that level. And I think this is a buy. I think you could buy it today. You know, it's just you're a little bit extended now. The thing that I like about it is we've broken above that 50-period moving average right now at 81 bucks. It's up here at 86. That's all. And the market is sometimes irrational. And right now you have the pretty much all the time. The NASDAQ is up 0.4%. The ES similar and starting to go again. We had some nice, not nice, we had some big moves yesterday as we described you in the market there. This name even yesterday at 2 o'clock. And I'm feeling like yesterday at 2 o'clock, those prices could still come back in for some of these names. I do think that the market is like we just said, we could start buying. But again, like just 2 hours ago in the open market, right? Like the open market hasn't happened yet here today. Obviously, we're still in the pre-market. But if you just go back to 2 o'clock, you know, Moderna was $74. Now, and there's a lot of stocks that are like that. And I don't know if we're getting back to any of those levels today. But I don't know if right now at 9:30, right off the jump, something you want to do is go in and buy a lot of these names. So I'm working on the sticky note. I actually just realized that I probably talked way too long there and didn't get enough written down on the sticky note. So we're doing that right here to get there. It is. Thank you so much. Man, AI is so great. Like I actually really like that picture in the middle there. But anyways, nice move back up to the upside here. So what I think you can do is, I think you can wait. I think we can buy this name in and around this $84 area, and then we'll look at it. So I love this. I love Moderna. I'm not an investor in it yet, but you just nailed that, Obi, once again. This guy's on fire over here. We had Pfizer written down yesterday at $26. Oh, yeah. It actually went to $25.80. I had too many shares long ahead of that 26. I punched out. We talked about this as a negative stock for me yesterday, despite having the long pretty much at the low, and we closed up 80 cents. But remember, this is that move. Oh, I was going to say, don't tell me the charts aren't going to work again. Huge move down yesterday on that guide, right? That they said, you know what? We are not going to be selling as many COVID vaccines or whatever they're doing with COVID nowadays. I don't know. Seems like the flu to me. But, you know, comes back in. If we get a dip buy opportunity again into 26, I think this probably is a little bit of a better buy than Moderna for a day trade because we have those levels. I'm not sure if Moderna sells off, and if it does, where do you buy it? Because there's been a couple days there, I think it was on Nvidia and a few other names, where you try to catch that falling sword, and the next, maybe it was even Tesla, and then it's like you're long at 230, then it's at 228, then you're like, the next level's not till 225, for example.
Right.
You know, and then next thing you know, you're holding something a couple dollars against you, and then it bounces. And that's happened to me a couple times, and it happened yesterday on Pfizer. But yeah, good look there. Good look on Pfizer. And I think you got to buy Moderna. It's one of those names that, for the longer term, I feel like that's a good buy into the long-term portfolio.
We were just talking about television shows. Anyways, a lot to get to here this morning. Let's touch on some analyst moves for you, upgrades and downgrades to kick things off on a Thursday. Adara has that over at the screen.
Foot Locker getting a nice pop here off of this Piper Sandler upgrade. We also have Marathon getting an upgrade here from Wells Fargo, Illumina with an upgrade from Guggenheim, and American Tower with an upgrade from HSBC Securities. For downgrades, Northrop Grumman getting a downgrade from Wolfe Research, Stanley Black & Decker with a downgrade from JP Morgan Chase, Acadia with a downgrade from Deutsche Bank, and this one is interesting because this one is actually running up throughout the day yesterday. Last but not least, SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment getting a downgrade from Morgan Stanley. Guys.
SeaWorld.
Have you ever been?
No. But I've been to like Marineland and all that stuff. I don't, like I kind of like we go to the zoo sometimes with my family and stuff like that. It's all good. I mean, the Toronto Zoo, a lot of zoos are very humane and everything like that, right? It's like, but I don't know. There's something about seeing these gigantic, big ass whales and everything like that in these tanks.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, was that a hot take of some sort? I don't know. I just, for me,
it's unnatural.
Yeah, but then at the same time, like when you go into maybe zoos, you know, snakes are, you know, on planes and stuff. But no, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, that's my little bit of a rant, not even a rant, but just a take on SeaWorld there. I don't know. I mean, some people probably love SeaWorld. I don't know. They might do enough. I don't know. They might do enough.
They're in the news a lot. That's
PETA and all that.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah.
You know, it's people choose their own. Okay, just quickly here about Foot Locker. I don't even want to look at the chat because people are probably like, man, I love SeaWorld. All right, so this 27 right there on Foot Locker. What a story. I mean, new CEO, took a couple quarters to get going. Bang, bang, flush out on absolutely disastrous OB earnings report. Then their last report got them off this bottom a little bit. I feel like it was probably back here, early October, maybe into here somewhere. But then look at this sort of swooshy over there, bounces off there, just taking a Dara word, to bounce off the 50-period moving average. You know, I think that was one of the words I said I would never copy or whatever, but I think I just did. And then there it is right there, breaking above $23, $24. And then this could have also been earnings, but there it is, taking it out. And now you kind of have this support down near 27 bucks. I'm not buying any retail names. I think they're well extended. And if anything, maybe get into the XRT, the retail ETF or something like that. I know Macy's had a bid on it the other day as well. But I don't know, for me, for Foot Locker, maybe a pass. We saw, last time I changed it on the chart, it actually didn't change. So let's see if this actually works. So I'm trying to call up Nike. There it worked. So there you go. Look at this move for Nike. Talk about a stock that was absolutely left for dead. It was destroyed. And I remember listening to it on other stations. They were talking about like the demise of retail and, you know, people can't afford these kind of shoes. And maybe they're on a late stage cycle of rebranding. Like how many Jordans can you release? How many, you know, this and that, backward swooshes. What's up, Travis Scott? You know, all these things. And then look at this, a nice rally back here as they get their footing. And part of that is, you know, responsible for the Foot Locker move up. And then you have the bell of the ball with Lululemon. Continues, bad quarter, yeah, right. That stock all the way back up as well. So I think retail's a little overextended. You got a name for us?
Yeah. So again, I like that. I like the swoosh and hold on the Foot Locker there, like you pointed out. But yeah, that 2 earnings down, and then this earnings you reclaim and hold this consolidation above, which I really like for that continuation move. There's pretty much air here until that 37 if you look left, but sure, if you want to count a little bit further back, there are consolidations on the way. But this price action is a lot more I guess more recent. So I would give it a little bit more precedent than before. But take a look at this name, Sean, Crocs. Also setting up quite nicely here, kind of looking very similar. Again, I was like, okay, well, you looked up Nike, Foot Locker, let's look up some more footwear there. And yeah, look at that. Crocs is poised for a breakout, kind of looking very similar to the Foot Locker move there, kind of another swoosh and hold above previous consolidation here going into 108. Kind of
I like that.
It's multi-month highs. We're trying to push multi-month highs here. August consolidation is right there at that 109, and yeah, very, very strong action post earnings, kind of recovering some of this downward moves that we've had this year.
Yeah, no, I like that. And as my mom would say, that's a crock.
All right, let's get into everything else you need to know here as we get going on a Thursday morning. Market back to day highs. We're at 3% now for crude oil to the upside as well, back to 71.50. Remember, Monday, I want to say, oil was down 5%.
Yeah.
So we are clawing our way back to the upside here for some energy names as well. Sharif's going to kick things off with a look at the futures.
47.60, guys. That's where we close out on the new ES March contract. We're well above that right now, 47.88, the high day. We're knocking on the door. We're at 47.86 right now. The overnight low is 47.59. I'd say look for 4,800 as a level of resistance if we make it up there, and then look for yesterday's close, 47.60, as a level of support.
All right, if you have not done so yet, very, very easy. You can scan that QR code or go to watchlist.tradertv.live. You enter your email address, and then you get that for absolutely nothing every single day. We just do your homework and send it to you. It's that easy. Wish we had that when I was in high school.
Right?
Anyway, Moderna, top of the list this morning, as we said, if you are just joining. Positive news for MRNA, about 10.8% right now. It was 12 at the top, 12 plus, even above that 88 level. But as we were talking about, if you zoom out a little bit on the daily chart, you get a better picture of what has happened to this thing so far this year. This is not going to be the entire year, but it's down about 55% just in 2023, and that's nowhere near the 400, whatever it was, going back to COVID days for Moderna. This, however, this is positive on two fronts. Obviously, anytime you hear something positive on cancer, great. Always want to hear more of that, but it's not weight loss related and it's not COVID related.
Yep.
So there is something else that they can hang their hat on.
I think that's what they wanted, to use this mRNA technology for other things. That was their plan all along, and COVID just happened to come in the way when they were developing this technology. But let's talk about a little bit about it. It's basically an alliance between Merck and Moderna. They're going to use the mRNA technology for the vaccine in conjunction with Keytruda, which is a breakthrough drug that Merck's been really profiting from as of late. I mentioned all the details at the top of the show. One thing I didn't mention, though, Brendo, is that they are testing this vaccine with Keytruda against other tumor types. On Monday, drug maker started a late-stage trial on the combination for non-small cell lung cancer, so not just melanoma, but possible other applications.
I was reading an article pointing to that as well, in that once they figure this out for one type, there's no reason why they can't, you know, with a few alterations, you know, maybe target a few others. I see 5.8%, but I think it's actually higher than that on the short interest for MRNA. This one might go back to the end of last quarter.
Trade Idea says 10-something.
Yeah, I think it is much higher than that. But yeah, there's that too. So this is one of those stocks, guys, that can get going if it wants to.
Oh, and it wants to. I mean, I think this wants to. The short flow right now under 7, so 6 3/4 short flow for Moderna. So that's gonna play a factor, I think, on this play. Could bust. I mean, we were just talking about this about a couple 5-10 minutes ago, and we were down to 10%. So now you're bouncing off this 86, and we talked about Pfizer having a level at 26. Very good.
Yeah.
Where's the level for Moderna? That's going to be the question, right? So this 200 period moving average is sitting there at 84. Again, I'm not charting everything. I don't chart since 7 o'clock, so you got to take that in consideration. I stopped them at 4:30, started at 7, so that's going to be a factor. But it's been really holding throughout the morning, right? On decent volume. I mean, it's going to be hard to see, but some of these prints are okay. I'm over 1 million shares right now. I like the story. I said a little joke there about Yay Science, and I just think that you want to stay with this name. It's just, it was really doing nothing. Now you get the news. There's the breakout. I just wonder about buying a stock up 13% right now today. I did this sort of, we looked at it yesterday at 2 o'clock, we were down at 74 bucks or whatever it was. And then, yeah, right there. And now, you know, a rally into the close with, you know, better rates, I guess, makes better money for Moderna because, again, future time value of money and, you know, investing capital into development of drugs and things like that. So it's nicer when cash is cheaper for that. That's great. So I can understand this move up $5 or $6. We saw that in a lot of names yesterday, despite some of the big tech names that did not rally really in the afternoon yesterday. But they're going to break this top. It's just a matter of going long if you like it. It's hitting it right now. It's breaking out. This is going to rally today. For me, I want to be long this name, but I think it's a portfolio play, and I'd rather buy a little bit today and buy a lot more if we fall back into $81, $82 where this 50-period moving average is. So I like the story there. You know, our population, OB, unfortunately, is not getting any younger. And you know, these drugs and things like this are always going to be a factor. And with people living longer right now, yeah, I feel like mRNA vaccines and that technology by itself is probably something that if you don't get behind now, you know, it may be too late at some point. So we'll wait to see what happens with Moderna, but good story. And if you've been buying some of those dips, that 75 on the daily chart just absolutely looks fantastic. So I say stay in it, man, and let's go.
You know, I like the idea of getting long, again, biotechs that are kind of the leaders of the industry. Now you can have opinions. I see some people in the chat talking about like vaccines and like different medications. Sure, you can have whatever opinions on that. That's perfectly fine. But the fact of the matter is that these are healthcare companies, and as Sean just said, humans are going to be around.
Yep.
Right? And these are the only companies that are putting in research to work on different types of diseases and whatever, whether or not they're right or wrong, they're putting in that effort and they're supplying that demand. And I think that kind of, that idea in itself makes it a pretty strong factor there. But regardless of that, I like that 84 as well. I kind of have that written down on my sticky, that 84.80 kind of shelf we're breaking out of. So a nice pullback kind of trade into some of these potential resistance turn support area is what I'll be looking for there on Moderna. Now, whether that sets up or not today, I have no idea. We could just continue blasting off the open, but I think a little bit better to wait for that 84 if it does come in, might give a better RR for me.
About semiconductors here. We had a bit of profit taking. If there was an area late in the day yesterday that we saw a little bit of selling come in after the Fed, this was it. Here's AMD. You can see big move down. We did get a bounce into the close, but coming off what Fed Chair Powell did to the overall market. I mean, the overall market itself very, very positive. So a little bit of relative weakness, maybe some, as I said, profit taking coming into play. But positive today for AMD. NVIDIA looking very similar.
Yeah, NVIDIA, and with a headline today about its GPUs and China again. It has ordered, NVIDIA has ordered from TSM new semiconductors that require what they call a super hot run production process. That should be delivered in the first quarter of 2024, specifically for China. If you recall, they were trying to circumvent the new embargo by the Biden administration with this new H20 chip. Should be noted that NVIDIA accounts for 90% of China's $7 billion AI chip market. So China heavily reliant on NVIDIA. Do they diversify elsewhere? That's the question.
Yeah, more and more AI to come for NVIDIA, for all of these, I think, guys, going into the new year.
Look, AMD was the #1 stock yesterday. We went long, then we went short. We had that, remember we had that 139 short into the close there as these guys were talking about. Nice. So, I mean, AMD yesterday was, for me, the belle of the ball because, I mean, it traded, it pretty much traded perfectly. I have the sticky note here from yesterday. I wrote down Fed Day, and right here, we just wrote down 136 long. So look what happened yesterday. Here's the open. You know what this price is, Obi?
I wonder.
Yeah, 136. Yeah, yeah, not too hard to figure that out. And then so that was the long that we had, and so it ripped all the way up. We are $2 and change in the money. Dropped back in. I believe we had the long again down here. Then we tried to fight a little bit of a short into Fed, thinking that maybe actually wasn't there. It was 138. That maybe we'd be able to get a bounce, a rip up there, and then fade back. But that didn't happen. So then me and you discussed this as some of the market was ripping, and we noticed the financials were going up. Remember, we traded JP Morgan. And then as pointed out on the desk, the tech names kind of faded at the end of the day, because I feel like there's a little bit of a rotation going to happen pretty soon, if not already. More into utilities, bank names, dividend names. But I mean, I'm not worried about it. Look, AMD's up today. But there's the move back in, and we played off that 139. So we had 139 short. I think we had like 138 or 139.05 or something like that. And we were giving it 20 to 25, 30 cents to the upside. And then Merry Christmas came early and it dropped $3. So that was huge. And again, Obi, class is in.
136.
136 again on a dime. We held it all the way back down, and then we got out at 136.50 for the break back up, and we did not go long into that move. So the idea here is, Obi, 136. I'm working on the sticky note. There's a name on it. It's AMD, and there's some levels on there.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? At the other side of things, just all kidding aside, 140 break long. I mean, I also think that that's going to be a good break spot. I'm writing down now on the sticky note, like I've been talking about here. I feel like we could be overextended a little bit in this market, just a bit, and I don't want to take breakouts early. But if that 140 is hanging around,
right,
and it's like 139.50, it's 139.80, drops back in, we can find a little bit of a bid there, especially if we bounce off the 50-period moving average. Then bang, bang, take 140, and we're going to hit that with vigor long. We're going to go long a lot at 140 if we break it. 136 is going to be one of those things where we'll test it. We'll get a bid going into 136 OB, but if we lose 136, we are not going to stick around for very long. It's the same trade as yesterday on Tesla. 232 came in. We were long ahead of it. It bounced once, but not twice, let alone thrice. So then it went all the way down to 228. So we wound up taking a 50-cent hit when it went down $4. I feel like that's how we're going to trade AMD.
Yeah, I like those levels, and take a look at this. I only have 2 levels written down on my sticky.
Good, man.
For AMD, and that's exactly it. 136 and 140.
The force is strong with this one.
There may or may not be some buyers at 136. Just saying, with the type of price action we've been having over, again, it's only been for 2 days, but a little bit of a 35 breakout gives you that 36 once, twice, and 3 times once again. So coming in today, I will be definitely looking at that 136 for those buyers to kind of show up again, and maybe they don't even get there. We just blast through that 140. But yeah, Nvidia kind of a little bit muted in terms of action there yesterday, as the market kind of ripped up towards all-time highs. Nvidia didn't really get past this previous consolidation right here at that 488. So maybe we'll be looking for that going into the week. Maybe the NQ needs to have a little bit more of a distinct push past that level for this, but whatever it is, I think that if the markets continue to rage towards their highs, Nvidia still has a lot of room here, and if you look left, you can define some levels here, 487, kind of these highs here, 490, 496, and of course, the 500 as well has been acting as a little bit of resistance if you do look back over the past few months. 400 support, 500 resistance. We're just right in the middle, and yeah, this PR looks pretty decent for today.
All right, Apple was at all-time highs yesterday. What a day for not only the NASDAQ, as we said, but Apple specifically. I mean, we sat here this time yesterday morning, and we were talking about Apple leading as far as, you know, the Mag 7, if you want to call it that, yesterday. But here we go again, extending those gains today. I mean, there's really no significant news to discuss. A couple positive notes from analysts, a couple of court decisions I saw coming through in their favor as well, but can't stop Apple.
Yeah, I know there's some stuff coming out of the EU today asking them to clarify, stuff with respect to the App Store. We saw a couple of days ago, Fortnite, the Fortnite maker, winning their case against Google. And to be quite honest with you, it's really interesting because the case against Apple was a little bit stronger than the case against Google, because Google actually allows you to download apps from other app stores from online, except it just has that warning. Whereas Apple doesn't allow you at all. So Android's a little bit more free in that sense. The only difference was that the Google case was in front of a jury, whereas the Apple case wasn't. And that was a bit of a, the decider there. Google said they're going to appeal. Anyway, we'll have to see how this antitrust story factors in later in the year, Brenda.
Yeah, 198, what is it, 198.23 is the intraday high. So the closing high gets surpassed yesterday, 196.49, but I see that anyways. 198.23, the intraday trading high for Apple. So we're basically right there right now.
Yeah, that was a very, very strong push into the close yesterday on Apple, kind of pushing past its previous all-time highs, and then you can see in the pre-market as well. We attempted a push at that 199. So I do have a little bit of a price written down for Apple today if we're going to continue this strength that we saw yesterday. Take a look at this. Something that convinces me a little bit harder for the breakout is the volume that comes in off of the consolidation break into the close there. So strong volume, strong close. I'll be looking for a consolidations above this level, pushing into 200 as well. But yeah, that 199.77 as of last night, kind of being that all-time price action high. Let's see whether or not we hold some of these previous intraday highs as well. 198, I think it was 10s or 20s. That was that previous high, and yeah, this price action right here will be very interesting today. I like the 197 as well. So just using yesterday's kind of levels, you had kind of a high volume day yesterday, so I think those levels are decent to go off of. If we have strong continuation on the markets today, I think we can definitely see a test of that 200 to work with.
Yeah, so the thing about this is, and here comes, so what is that? Is that
Amazon?
See, so this is to me from Amazon, and then the thing is that,
well, let me get in a bid.
Well, no, it's from, I don't know who it's from. We'll have to open this up. You know what? Can you find, I think she has, yeah, you probably have a knife on you. Okay. All right, so.
Are we opening presents?
It's like my father-in-law used to say, like, a real man carries around a knife. You know what I'm saying? So, thank you, Randy. Let's see who is this from? Thing is, I got to be very, very careful here because, like, I didn't know. Oh, it is a book. I like it. Michael Lewis, Going Infinite, The Rise and Fall of a New Tycoon. And there's a note here. It's from John. Is this? Yeah, a gift for you. Hi, Sean. Oh, here we go. Here's the note right here. Oh, that's so nice. Pranaya, it's from. Hi, Sean. I've learned a lot from you. Here's a small token of appreciation. I really enjoyed this book. So check it out. Thought you might enjoy it as well. Happy holidays to you and yours. From Prania. Wow. Pran A-Y-A.
That's one of the.
Yeah, I know. I just don't want to pronounce his name incorrectly. Well, thank you so much. Wow, happy holidays to you too as well. Thank you. We will be reading this. Michael Lewis, Going Infinite: The Rise and Fall of a New Tycoon. I think this is an SPF. So Sam Bankman-Fried. So we have a Silicon Valley hat over there. But thank you so much. Wow, that's so nice. I was like, the problem is when I get I'm like, did I order something here for my wife for Christmas? But that was and I didn't want to open it because, she may be watching it. But thank you so much. That means a lot. And now I have a new reading material for over the holidays. You read that book? No, I think that's too new of one.
I got a lot of books on my reading list that I have to kind of go through.
Kanaya, thank you so much.
I feel like people keep giving me more and more books to read, and I'm like, okay, well, this list is just, I'm never going to finish this list.
Well, that's just so nice. Yeah, as soon as I finish it, Pranaya, thank you so much for everything. That's so nice, and he's a contributor also in the chat. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to read the book, and then we'll give it to the floor, and we'll keep it around here, and Anybody wants to take a gander? Because the thing
Going
is
infinite.
yeah, that's the thing is like
That's a very interesting.
As traders, you're always looking for an edge, and if that book and you know from one of our viewers means a lot. So thank you so much. Like that's now I'm all distracted and all that. The problem with being Italian and like my family, it's like I get emotional. Like for example, like my daughter when she scored her first goal, I was like a freaking fountain. Like it meant something that she scored a goal, but I was like, oh my God, I was so proud of.
It makes.
Oh, thank you, Obi.
It's a big moment.
Okay, all right, I feel a little bit better about that. All right, what I want to talk about real quickly was Apple because we're talking about it. And look, this is the thing. Sharif brought up some good points there, obviously as did Brendan, about the App Store and possibly getting a little potentially overextended. If you're nervous about the $200 psychological level and you're looking at this Apple chart saying, wow, this is a huge move up, then guess what? Just get out. Just get out and get back in. You know, Apple's not going to gap up. I shouldn't say this because it's probably going to happen. Everyone's going to be like, I missed 5%. But the thing is like, if you get out now because you're nervous of what Apple's doing and maybe it's run too far and maybe I think there's going to be a little bit of a rotation coming from Mag 7 more into equal weighted stuff. And I don't think like that's rocket science. Everything I listen to and read has been saying that. So if you think that Apple maybe has sort of dragged, if you come over to the chart quickly there, if you think it's Apple's kind of dragged this market up and there is, you know, competition because there is. The Pixel's great. Samsung continues to make waves. We had some stories about India and some parts there. You know, if you don't like some of the story that we're about to see moving forward from Apple, then just get out and get back in when we break above $2 billion. I don't think this trade is rocket science. So I don't have much to say, man. The sticky note is now out, and all that I put on the sticky note for Apple, and I had to put it on there because I like it, and I think it's a fun name to trade, and it will be probably traded today by most likely me and maybe you. You know, 196 on dips, so fine. We come down $2, we want to buy that. All-time highs 128, 198.23. And then $200. And then what I just wrote here is fade a pop if we get that high into 200. So let's see if we want to fade it to come back in there. If we break higher, I think it's a kind of an easy punch long. I think like get short in front of 200, let it go to like $200.20, something like that. Give yourself a quarter, 50 cents of space depending on your share size and whatnot. You know, but then hey, if it holds 200, then you have a support level.
Yeah.
So I think it's just one of those easy trades, and I don't think it'll be super exciting. So let's hold off on Apple and look at AMD and NVIDIA a little bit better.
All right, let's go to crypto, back to the upside of this morning. Not only did stocks like the Powell speech yesterday, but Bitcoin as well, back towards the 43,000 area. We're not there yet, but 42.5 coming into play right now, still hanging out at the top end of the range after the move down, going back to the early couple of days of this week. Coin, 1.13 right now, 150 still holding, which was the dead high from yesterday.
Yeah, I haven't seen any new headlines with respect to Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies in general, but we continue to await the new or the first BTC spot ETF, you know, possibly in the new year. But let's have a look at the BTC chart because we held that 40,000 quite well as a level of support back on the 11th, Brendo. We came right into that 40,200 area and we bounced back up immediately, now above 4,200. So good support at the $40,000 level.
You and I were just talking about where to put money going into 2024. Here's an interesting title. Why sub $50 billion tech companies could outshine Mag 7 next year.
All right.
I'll have a read, guys.
I mean, I've been talking about this again. We've, you know, some sort of promotion here for Trader TV Live again, but during that market recap show, we talk about IWM and some of these smaller names that continue to work. Did you see what ARK did yesterday, by the way?
I did not.
That's why we're here, Obi. That's why we're here, because we can't check everything, you know?
That's true.
Look at ARK. Wow. $34 bottom November, $51. Look what happened at 2 o'clock. Signaling, you know, this huge move to the upside here as we get more under control and some of these battered names continue to move to the upside. So to the story, I know we're starting with crypto, but to the story about sub 50 billion and some of these smaller names, ARK kind of leading the way, as well as our friend IWM, the Russell 2000 index, coming through huge over this month as well. And the thing is, you are still well underperforming the market now with the IWM. And again, you know, sure, you're back to some of these highs, that's fine, but you still have a couple bucks to go before you get back to all-time highs for the IWM, right? So there's a lot more work to be done here on this name. So look at this, right? So you're just now trying to get through the summer. The NASDAQ is through the summer. The NASDAQ is at all-time highs, right? So if we do think that potentially rates are getting controlled, and look at this. Look, see, Obi, you just talked about Costco, wanting to buy some Costco. Look, like, these are levels, you know, that if we believe in the world, and, you know, these are things that need to be bought when they get into this area. So could we get faded? Maybe. Fine. Okay, a name that I liked breaking higher here. We're not going to get to it. Well, we maybe are with SoFi, so let me leave that for the bank discussion. But Coinbase, again, that 150 level, a psychological one that was broken yesterday in that rally. So there it is. We closed the day. I mean, not broken. We went up to it, but now we're above, and we just bounced off 150. So I feel like if you're trading any names today, Coinbase 150, that little wick down went to 148.65. So make sure you can hold it $1.50 against you, because that 48 also comes into play yesterday at 3 before that bounce, and then there's that break there into 150. So you're going to have to hold 148. We just went over Bitcoin a little bit there. Bitcoin flushed. And I was that on retail sales? Like, we talked about that move in Bitcoin coming back into 41,750. It dropped $1,000 there in one move, and now is regaining that. So, you know, that's that move back in for coin in the pre-market. I'd say you look at that, you trade 150, but you give it to 148. So why we talk about that is always have an out before you have an in. So, like, I'm not going to take 1,000 shares at 150 holding that $2 against me. Too big of a hit for an idea. I don't love it that much. But Coinbase, big spread, only 5 minutes to go before open.
Yeah, I'll be definitely watching some of these crypto names here. I'm just watching on the side of my screen. Amazon just clipped 150 and pushed like 50 pennies above that. So we got that breakout in the pre-market. Okay, so that's done and gone. So we'll have to be a little bit more patient around that level going off into the open. But yeah, going back to crypto, yeah, I do like the look. They've been hot over the past few weeks, and we can see yesterday's move quite strong, kind of testing the higher end of this range that we've been making here on Mara. But yeah, I like same levels as earlier this week and last week. It seems that 15 is definitely interesting, 16 as well. And right now, as of right now, we're kind of consolidating above that. And I think Riot's kind of looking pretty similar here. Yeah, right there, kind of top of the range for the past couple of weeks. Room to come down as well. But yeah, with Bitcoin kind of catching a little bit of a sell, maybe we see that retracement back to the lower end of the range there. So I got my alerts in for some of these prices on Mara, and we'll see what we have in store today.
Not only banks liking Fed Chair Powell's speech yesterday, and the indication that, again, we're going to get at minimum 3 at least, according to him, rate cuts going into 2024. Here's PayPal gapping higher today after that big move to the upside yesterday. All of these really looking similar. Obviously, if interest rates are going to come down, that means people are going to have a little bit more money to spend right across the board. Banks, I saw XLF was up huge at the end of the day yesterday. I mean, the whole market was, but nice day across the board for these.
These buy now, pay later stocks are great, especially if you're carrying heavy credit card balances, which a lot of people are at the moment. So this kind of provides you a different alternative. Typically, it's interest-free, but I've been hearing from some people now that there's a nominal interest included in those buy now, pay later. With respect to traditional financials, Brendo, JP Morgan getting a couple of price target upgrades today. The first one from Wells Fargo, increasing that to 200 from 185, and Bank of America as well, increasing it to 177 from 175.
JP Morgan, pretty impressive. I was just looking here. Daily chart, 20% since November. Straight higher for JPM as well. Obviously, if interest rates are coming down, mortgage rates are coming down, get ready for potentially higher prices in the housing market again.
Yeah. Apple coming in. We're still under the 50-period moving average in the market. We're still under VWAP, so be very, very careful. But I feel like it's an all clear, a little bit of an all clear for SoFi. I mean, this was a monster move upside. And look at this. This is what I'm most excited about, this little break here of 920. I already have the order in. I said in the sticky note that I'm not going to play breakouts early, but SoFi is a different story because we have a $9 bottom. So if I take 920 out, again, it's almost like share size doesn't matter because if it falls back into $9, then slightly lower than that is going to be our out. So I feel like 25 to 30 cents worth of risk for a name that really could just trend higher all day, especially when we break this 920 area. I really, really like this name. And then, yeah, man, yesterday we had that JP Morgan. I really like it. But I kind of like the smaller banks and maybe even, I know BAC is not a regional bank, but I mean, this move is a huge move up to $32. We talked about the KRE again yesterday and how good that name has been. And we're taking out levels on the KRE, which of course is the ETF for the regional banks. So that's up to 50 and 51, $52. But look at WFC. JP Morgan, sure, Brendo, that's huge. This is up $10. It's up 30%. And look at WFC, knocking on $50. Like there's another thing right here. This is probably going to be breaking as well very, very soon. So, whether or not it's heaven's door or $50, you are going to get to that at some point. Only 30 seconds now. You like the banks, my guy?
Yeah, just I'm looking at JPM because I know you were trading it yesterday. Just pulled it up on the hourly here. Since November, Sean, this thing has been blasting up. So very strong trend on the multi-day, multi-month, multi-week as well. So maybe looking for a bid on JPM today would be nice.
All right, here we go, guys. Palantir also going to be watching that for 1850 as we get ready to rock and roll. How much time do we have left right now? Just a couple, 2 and 1, and now we are now open. So we are watching out for SoFi breaking through that 920. There it is, SOFI. Come on, Sean, get that going. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like and the subscribe as Obi and I are now live trading for everybody. So here we go. We are already into SoFi, and there it is. There's the break that we wanted, and so far, not the greatest. We are long at 21.5 as we just had a problem breaking through 24. 25, some decent size on there. Let's go, SoFi. Break yourself all the way back up to the upside as we've got some shares on right here, looking at $9. Palantir up to $18.50. That's going to be a breaking spot for me as well. But we said we want to be a little bit patient, so let's see if we can get it to go and wait for some of these plays. Anything popping on your side of the world over there?
I'm watching this. There's like 7,000 lots at 150 right now on Amazon, so I'm watching that right now. It just keeps getting kind of a little bit front run. I guess gates keep on stepping in front of that 150 level, so maybe it's not primed just yet, but I think if we do blast off of this, yeah, Apple kind of pushing off as well, Microsoft coming down, Google coming down as well. So let's see what Amazon does with this massive size that's sitting at the 150.
All right, here we go.
Right here.
All right, here goes SoFi finally. So here we go, guys. If you're a Sticky Note Nation, stand up right now because we're spinning it a little bit. We're now only 7 cents in the money, but again, we talked about what to watch out for. Here goes SoFi. Let's see if it will continue to work. Uh-oh, we're doing it again with AMD. We don't have position, but here it goes. Up through and approaching. Let's go, SoFi, into 930 right now as the bangers are starting. One more time here again today. There's the Sticky Note Nation, the #1 stock on the Sticky Note. Probably have some graduates behind us. 920 long there on SoFi. Let's see how far it goes. Now, you got to hit it with a lot of shares in order to get some money on this one. But there it is. It's a nice play up there. SoFi now 933 and still going higher. We are only out of 20%. But it's AMD was the name that we just wanted to look at, bouncing near that 140. I don't really want to play the brakes on this one, right? So let's just wait out. Wow, SoFi. I like, Obi, I like this one a lot. As there goes SoFi ripping through. Now let's see where we can continue. Man, we're making money on the swing account. We're also making money live for everybody right now. And hey, it's not like this is a fluke, right? I mean, we could look at yesterday, just go into X, hashtag Sticky Note, and you should be able to find it. Palantir pulling back. AMD is an interesting one. And what about our friendly neighborhood Apple? Because an apple a day does not keep the doctor away, because doctors love this stock because they buy a lot of indexes. Doctors are pretty conservative. But anyways, here we go. 199.50 right now coming in for Apple.
Wow, holy. That was wild. 40 pennies pretty much instantly on that move there. Yeah, so pretty
move?
much on the Amazon.
Oh,
on the
Amazon. What is Amazon
150
doing?
push, there was like 7,000 lots pretty much there on the Amazon, and it gave you instantly about 40 pennies there.
Boom.
I got filled in the 40s. That was absolutely ridiculous there.
You got filled in the 40. What, you had a market order?
Yeah, a little bit there.
Come on, my guy.
I wanted the breakout there. I haven't seen that kind of size on Amazon at a dollar level in a while. So I was like, all right, I gotta throw some spread on that order there. But yeah, I guess I did get filled a little bit at the top, and it's
maybe Adair might have news on that. Let's just go to Adair quickly, and then we'll talk about that. Okay, what's up, Adair?
I have Upstart right now up about 7.5%. We also had a really strong rise yesterday following the Fed rate decision. So just keep an eye on Upstart, now getting close to 8% to the upside.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine. We can talk about that. Yeah, so great move there on Amazon, and of course Upstart, Affirm. I mean, we've got SoFi. We are starting to clean out a little bit. We're almost out of half of SoFi right now. Let's get another piece out here at 41. There it is. As we're just sort of climbing out of this one. But how is that Amazon looking? And I am also
150.
Oh, went back in?
It went back through, yeah. So I got it.
Okay, so a quick little in and out there. Okay, so that's too bad that didn't work out, but I still think we have a chance. I was looking at AMD too at that 140 level, breaking higher. That's sort of stopped off that move. Here we go. Come on, SoFi, man. This is what we're talking about, man. We are here today, right? Like, we're here every day, but you know, getting some of these plays in, this is what it's all about. Palantir also waiting for that play. What else do you write down on the sticky note? SoFi, Palantir, AMD, buy dips on banks. So let's see what's going on here with Wells Fargo. Yeah, buy dips. Well, it's got to dip in order for us to do that. All right, here we go. There it is again, Professor, man. SoFi, 920 break. It's 950 right now as that continues to work. And here we go. Let's break through this I'm going to take another piece out right now. Why not? And see if we can get that out as we bounce around. We're going to look at Apple. There goes AMD on the pullback as well. How close did Apple get, man? It got to 1. That should have been shorted. So that's, again, that's my bad. Yeah. I mean, we talked about it. It's right there. I said fade the 2 bills. Yeah, man, 198 there, Professor.
199.60.
Oh, I see what you're doing there, Professor. He just wants to hit the bang. I like it. All right, so let's go on to something else now because SoFi ripping. We're out of half of that one, and I need to get into something else here as the market's pulling back just.
I had that 103 kind of marked in on Oracle there as well. A bit of a level from yesterday. Excuse me. But yeah, that 150 kind of comes in real heavy there. You can see that Softy's pretty heavy. Google is heavy as well. Now I got to check some of these other names. Let me just pull up my chart real quick.
I don't know if we want to fade this move, man. Like,
yeah,
AMD is making.
I'm gonna be a little bit patient, right? The 150 failure to follow through, that was pretty solid. We were on the other side of that. That's perfectly fine. We get out now. I got to reassess to see whether or not any support comes in and around that 149. That 149 being that previous kind of high from a few days ago. So we'll see if that kind of stabilizes. But that 103 on Oracle, I did have down, and it comes in right off the open as a strong sell, coming right back into that 101. So I guess where my, yeah, it did kind of clip my alert here on 102s on Oracle, kind of 101.50s. Sorry, it was a consolidation area of yesterday's action there. And we're coming right back into it. So maybe a continuation of that selling that we saw off of earnings day 1. Earnings day 2 had a little bit of reversion back into that 103, and that 103 was definitely interesting and was on the sticky note yesterday as well. But coming in today, it's showing sellers are showing their hand at that level once again, as you get a strong sell right off of that level there. 149.50 holding on the Amazon here, so I'll just give it some more time. Apple's the only one I see here that's really distinctly pushing towards its highs. Nvidia still consolidating, can't really get past that 486.
Which is?
And I'm hearing that ARM is moving around as well, so we can take.
I mean, Rivian broke above $20, man. I mean, it was there before. Now it's at $21. So many names, man. And there goes again, like. I mean, I'm only in one trade, but SoFi again, we got a piece out right there at 48s, 49s there on SoFi. Like, I don't need that many trades to be able to, make the day. And that's when it's the number one name on the sticky note. I'm taking those. So that was that. JP Morgan not doing much. A little disappointing there because I thought banks could go today even more. than this. I mean, Wells Fargo up 2 and a bit is nice. I just thought maybe we could even get going more. Okay, here we go. We are getting closer to 2 bills on Apple now as it's come back up there as the market bounces. Watch out. Here comes AMD with, again, a nice move back up to the upside here. I'm not sure that comment about how many shares we're going to be hitting AMD with. I don't know. We do want to. I'm going long. Let's for sure on that one. But how much? I don't know right now. The market, it's still a little under. It might be one of those heavy tops, if you know what I'm saying, where it gets up there, wants to break it, kind of tells you it wants to break it, but then doesn't, and winds up going the other way. So I feel like there's some sort of concern for me there. But anyways, there's Apple as well, up to 2 bills. I'm going to just stay on AMD because I feel like this is going to break. And guys, damn, we're 30 cents now in the money on SoFi. Like, I don't... Yeah, and again, congratulations, man. Everybody in the chat, what's up to you, Will Evans? Awesome trade, man. Just let me know, like, did the sticky note help you at all? Were you guys looking at this? Because, you know, I'll keep doing the sticky note if you guys want me to. You all right?
Sorry,
you all right over
I
there?
just had to clear my throat. I don't know. I've been getting a little bit of a dry throat for some reason over the past.
I feel like it's just the temperature. Like
it's a little
dry.
cold. It's very dry, and yeah, so I do have to stay hydrated on that. So I try to long above some structure highs there on top of 149. Doesn't really hold, so I get out. Sell pressure is real off that 150. So yeah, I definitely got to be looking short off that 150. Failure to follow through. There again, something to note is that everything except for Apple is pretty weak. If you look at Nvidia pretty much wicked its consolidation highs on the week, and we broke past that, broke below what do you call pre-market lows as of right now. I'm also watching this Oracle as well. I do want to get involved if we hold above this 101 kind of area, but I guess the bigger picture kind of trend is the short. So I do want to stay kind of involved for that. I do want to get back in long here if that 149 holds here on the Amazon. So we'll do a little bit of that. Get right back in, and when it does hold, I got wicked out at the lows. That happens sometimes. That's perfectly fine. If the bid is going to stack up a little bit here, I do want to stay relatively involved. And AMD coming right into that 140, only about a few pennies away from that. So let me switch over this Oracle chart to AMD real quick, and we can observe how this 140 comes in. There's about 1,000 lots sitting there at that 140 on AMD right there. You guys can see that right there. Yeah, let's see what it does with it. I kind of missed the move, kind of taking the long into the 140, and I don't necessarily want to take too much of a breakout as of right now, but we'll see. We'll be patient. Again, like we kind of cover, like we've covered over the past few days, I think being patient definitely pays. And yeah, you can be there kind of on the move. And take a quick profit, but I think that the bigger picture stuff kind of gives you a chance sometimes to kind of stay involved. And here
we go, a little bit Dak Prescott action happening. Here we go.
There it goes.
You got that, Obi, or what?
I did not have that.
What level did you write down on your sticky note, my guy?
140.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Nice little move up for 140, breaking now. And again, it's happening, Obi. This is what you got to do, man. You got to pull that trigger. And here it goes, nicely done up to the upside, man. We done trading today. It's 9:40. Nice move to the upside as SoFi. 40 cents, booyaka. That's happening right now as well as AMD, the Rip City. What's up to Portland? There it is, a nice move to the upside right now for SoFi, as well as the best of the best. It's Advanced Micro Devices, and we'll often talk about this over and over again. If you hit something yesterday, you hit it today, and that's exactly what happened. Man, I wish we hit that with some vigor, but we did hit it twice because it's nice. So there it goes, nicely done to the upside on this move for Advanced Micro Devices. Damn, Daniel, it's right on here again, man. Damn, it's at 140 one more time, and there it is again. It is Sticky Note Nation, and we're starting to go back up to the upside right now. So this is good, man. There goes SoFi as well. Hey, Obi, glad you're here, my guy. This has been a great day. Neil, come back ASAP, but I ain't got no problem sitting beside this young, handsome fellow right now. There goes AMD again. It's now 75 cents in the money right now. Let's go.
So here's the thing. I wasn't expecting that to go right away because it's been kind of I guess
yeah, no problem, guy.
But I was looking for that consolidation, maybe a little pullback. Yeah, the initial break of that 140 is absolutely beautiful. It's giving you 75 pennies right away. But like I said, I'm trying my best not to get that FOMO. I did have 140 written down. I do accept it as a decent level. But again, I don't know what the market's going to do. I didn't know it was going to slap a whole dollar off of the break without doing any sort of pullback.
Slap a whole what did you say?
A dollar. Nice. Solid. So
No,
yeah,
you know what it is, man.
141 right now. I'll be patient. Here's the thing. 140 is a level.
Yeah.
Right?
You didn't do anything wrong.
We see the strong buying pressure off of it. So now I want to see if it can pull back and hold that 140 to really get involved. Like
Nothing is easy,
Like
my friend.
it's a different kind of trade that I'm looking for. I wasn't necessarily looking for the breakout long. I'm looking for a little bit of a stronger hold on the continuation move that AMD has been having over time. But yeah, if you took that breakout, that was an awesome breakout. It gave you a whole point right away. Again, not really that much size. Again, after seeing that 7,000 lots at 150 on Amazon, I feel like I need a little bit more oomph at the even dollar to really push that kind of trade. But it goes. It's been kind of consolidating underneath that 140 for about I think 2 or 3 days this week. And when it does finally break, the flood doors open up, and
yep.
we get.
Remember, we said a confident trader, right? It's taken me not a lot of time, but it's taken me some time to believe in some of the trades that even I list here.
Yeah.
Because it takes practice, it takes patience, which was a very key word. We're also long Palantir. What's up, Adara?
Wayfair getting a really strong push to the upside, up over 14% right now. Last night, the Business Insider reported that the CEO of Wayfair told the employees that they will be profitable once again. So definitely a name to keep an eye on. W.
Fair.
Yeah, sometimes that has what you need, and sometimes it doesn't. But generally speaking, Wayfair, good little name there. AMD, so just bounced off 141 again. We're almost out. We only have 20%. Actually, we have like 10% left of this position, not 20. Not many shares left here on AMD, as there it goes now, $1. I mean, what a monster. All right, Palantir, we kind of just briefly touched over that. It's not going, so I'm already out of half. I've got out for higher than where we've been at. My best out's only 54. I'm just going to hold this till this candle, man, a breakthrough of 40. So let's just put that stop. I don't even have a stop for Palantir because I was like, this is not really going. All right, 1938. Decent year, is it? I don't know. All right, offer. Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, I said 19.
Okay.
But it's at 18, so I got punched out automatically there. Oh, well, maybe it'll be better than holding as we got down. So there's a keystroke error, but as we're falling down, I possibly just saved myself. I put 9. See, so you just saw me do it live on the air there. And then after I hit it, I'm like, why am I flat? And then that's why. So there it is right there. We got out of Palantir. Let's, it's coming back in now, so we could be maybe a little bit more patient. Let me just buy something here just in case. Don't. Just please give me some 42s, please. Because if this rips back, this is okay, so there we go. So now we're in. We're going to give this, because we punched out there by accident, we're back in. So let's give this a little bit more now, 37. Okay, here we go. We're just going to give it to 37. So the fact that we just moved up 5 cents is about 1-to-1 now on this play. So again, we did not mean to punch out. We got back in, but we didn't. There we go. We'll take this more out. We're actually going to wind up being up on it, but that's right there. You just saw me, 22 years experience. I keystroked out and got right back in. We've often, sometimes Sharif has gotten out and for $2 or whatever the winner is, because for some reason his flattened keys are all like beside each other. We've talked about this. Even the professor needs to go to school. Yeah, there we go. Was that you? Nice. Now, okay. Oh no.
Hey man,
thank you, Randy. You are saving me, my guy over there. I didn't mean to keep bothering you. I was like, he's probably in a meeting. But there we go. Hot stuff. Thank you so much. And I love the hot coffee. That is for sure. Anyways, it's. Oh, wow, there goes Palantir. So it's too bad because we didn't get back in our full position. So it's not going to be the greatest trade of all time here. But anyways, good move up there for PLTR. And I was just going to say, you just saw me make a keystroke error. And we got out at night. I put in limit order of 1938 as the trigger spot. So the fact that we were already down $1 from that it says, uh-oh, this trade has gone bad,
That's
get
happened
out.
to me as well. It's like you type in
I
the
think that
wrong
happened to
thing.
you yesterday on Amazon. or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah.
You get in and you mistype a price and it'll automatically take you out because it's like, oh yeah, the bid's way past
Yeah,
this or whatever,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So yeah, that definitely happens there. Attempting some longs here at that 149 hold, and I keep getting stopped out multiple times. Definitely not giving it
Look
the
at
room
this
it
day,
really
guys.
needs for the potential bounce. And that 16.8 area holding as, or this consolidation you can see in the pre-market on the NQs, kind of 16.820s, very, very wicky whenever it comes down there. And now we're breaking towards the high of these consolidations, 16.880. So that 16.9 potential coming in on the NQs if we're going to continue to blast towards those highs. 200 on Apple still right there. We're still holding in those 199s on Apple there. So I do want to kind of keep that on watch. Softy kind of poised for a bounce as well. Strong flush down into the 370. That was kind of an area before. And yeah, we kind of we're holding that level for now. Let me just show you guys what I mean right after I get this. Hold on, you know what? I'm just going to give this what it needs here for now. Just give me 1 second. Okay, boom. All right, so yeah, let's take a quick look at Softy and see where it's coming into. So you can see, okay, so this is an hourly chart. Let's take a look at the 15. Yeah, this 370, 368, you can see that we've only been making higher lows on the multi-day whenever we kind of get into these 60s and now in the 70s area. So let's see if the bid kind of picks up in and around a higher low on Softy in at this 370 area. We are slowing down. The fade off the morning, very, very strong quadunk down to the downside into previous supports, and the fact that we have been making higher lows on the intraday prices on the daily. Let's potentially look for that move. The market is strong. We just broke out of all-time highs recently, so maybe a little bit of a pullback, and the bid kind of steps back in where we've been seeing it kind of step back in a little bit higher and higher every time. 141 giving a little bit of a pullback on AMD, so it only goes about a point off of that consolidation break on the weekly there past that 140. So like I said, I'm going to be looking for that 140 pullback to really come in and show itself there if it's gonna be there. If the bid on 140 is there, yeah, I think I'll like that. But anybody who got that 140 long off the break, congratulations to you. A little bit of a pullback to on the NQs, kind of wicking back down. So it seems like we might get just stopped out of this trade once again. So I'm just going to stop going for the long there. Yeah, exactly. So we get stopped out right there at that consolidation low. And
the market's coming back in here.
Yeah, the market does look like it's kind of coming back in. But
let's go find out what Adair's got for us.
NIO Auto, NIO, really strong right now, basically announcing earlier today that they've partnered with a as of yet unnamed automaker to expand their battery swapping network, which was announced earlier, guys. So keep an eye on NIO, up about 6%.
Unknown, eh? Unknown. Yeah, breaking through $8. We will look at that in just 1 second. But before we do that, we got out. So we only now have 5%. Remember, we only had 10% left of AMD. Now we only have 5% as it's trying to make that move back upside. So we'll wait to see if and when that wants to continue. But I may or may not buy this dip again down there. It's going to be just one of those things. Let's just check out on Apple. I do want to go back over to NIO as well. Okay, so Apple's still there. I just want to have a little bit of a check on it because, again, this market moving down. I think if we get, I mean, 198 is pretty sweet. We'll keep it up. SoFi, by the way, I think I just got a little bit tricked there, possibly. Well, not really. I mean, I got some. Okay, 63s. Okay, well, I guess I got out a little bit better than I thought. We got out at 63 there on that. So, you know, again, one out at 68. Just feel like it's getting a little bit toppy now for SoFi shares. Under 10% left now. So again, not a great amount of shares or anything like that here on SoFi as we wait to see where this market goes. And I mean, we're up more today than we were yesterday and so on and so forth. So I feel like it's been good so far. And Palantir is one of those names that's just dancing around. Let's try to take another long here in case that dip. Let's punch a little, there we go. Well, punch a little bit there at 43. We'll wait for a little bit lower there to see if we break. I think now that we keep on bouncing down here, let's just use VWAP as our out. So let's not screw this up. 18, Sean, 29. I don't know if that was a good year, 1829 for any historians out there. We'll have to go double check that. But right now, we're going to put that as our stop. Put it out there. We'll get out of 100% of it if it does go back down into that level, and we will still start to massage some of this because the market's at the 50 period right now and at VWAP. This is an area of concern, right? So if it goes back up, great. We just reloaded some long, so we'll take it. But other than that, let's just be careful. It's only 10 o'clock. We do, not even 10 o'clock. I believe we have some numbers today, right? That was on our watch list for sure. Here it is. We've already got the 8:30 numbers. Then at 10 o'clock, and I tweeted this out today as well, business inventories 10, retail inventories ex auto 10. So there are a couple more names, a couple more economic events to drop. And there it is right there. What a good reload that appears to have been as well on Palantir as we just get out some 49s there. So yeah, man, good day. How's your day been? I mean, I have
It's
three
okay.
positions.
I'm getting a little chopped up, so I'm gonna stay a little bit more patient. We kind of talked about this. If I'm on a roll, kind of getting chopped up, maybe I need to take a little bit of a breather and step back and reassess some of these moves
like
here.
that.
I did get too aggressive at this 149. I tried this short on the AMD off the 141, kind of pull back in, and it comes right back in. So I'm not going to fight that pressure. We are breaking out on the weekly, so I think one try is more than valid as of right now. 140 is my level, and it still hasn't really pulled back into it. So that plan is kind of out the window. Something to go back, what we covered this morning is Mara. Mara is going for that 1730 pre-market high as well. So let's pull up that Mara so I can show you guys here. So Mara, very, very strong push. I don't know what Bitcoin's doing, but we'll check that in a second. I'm gonna make a guess that maybe it's pushing up as well, but that 1719, 1730 pre-market high kind of coming in. Again, we talked about this range pushing and trying to break out earlier or even yesterday, and maybe today that will come into fruition through that 1730. So let's take a quick look at what Bitcoin is doing right here on the day. So yeah, we got a strong kind of wick back of that flush that we were talking about in the morning there, Sean.
Yep. And
we're holding above those levels, 42.5 kind of coming in. So we're pretty much, this is what I was talking about yesterday. This hard drop that happened onto the 40 thou mark, and then it gets bought up again. This was well within the larger trend happening on Bitcoin. And if you guys know, it has these volatile drops which get kind of bought up again within trend a lot of the time. So it looks like we're getting a little bit more of the same here as this morning kind of, like you said, 1,000-point quadunk gets bought right back up, and now we're trading at 42 halves, pretty much above 42 halves on Bitcoin. So yeah, a lot of these crypto names probably catching a bid. Mara definitely is. Let's take a quick look at CLSK as well. Okay, so right here. Oh wow, CLSK is much cleaner than the.
Did you do that on purpose?
A little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, CLSK much cleaner than the rest of them. Look at this consolidation. I'm sure it's holding above VWAP as well. Yeah, right there, holding perfectly above VWAP off of those lower wicks. And MSTR, again, for those of you who have a larger risk appetite, kind of holding underneath VWAP as of right now. So maybe not as I guess in step with that Bitcoin move here on MSTR, but let's take a quick check on Riot as well, if that'll be okay. So I guess it's Mara and CLSK that are really doing well on that Bitcoin move.
Yeah. No, I mean, Bitcoin 42.6. You believe we dropped down at $1,000 and then made it all the way back like you were just mentioning there? That's pretty wild for sure, I think. Okay, let's just keep going here then as we go. Thanks, Obi, for that. As me and Obi trading a little bit different names here, and that's what it's all about, right? Like, let's go on all that. So, all right, quickly, AMD. I mean, oh my God.
Oh my God.
On here, man, 140 break. We talked about that with Obi. Now $1.40 in the money, so that's going to be good. The one thing, I do have a brand new trade idea. You guys tell me what you think about this one. What about DraftKings? Like, look at this level up here on the daily. It's actually the other way around. So this is a play that if you like the shorts, wow, SoFi 975, as if, dude, right now. That's a 920 break long right now. The Tesla $5 Club. What's up, Jennifer Schultz? Hey, this is for you, Miss Jennifer Schultz. Dun, 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 dun. If you like Tesla, do not listen to the podcast because I said I didn't like it. No, but I do like it. I haven't sold any of Tesla.
Bars.
What?
I said bars.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So the thing is like, first of all, the podcast was hot fire. Everybody should go watch it. We're gonna have. It's going to keep going, right? Whether or not it's going to be Neil, me, Sharif, we're going to get this all figured out. Obi, maybe. Would you come on a podcast with me?
I've been on the podcast.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the podcast.
Yeah,
the
I'm
podcast. You haven't been on the podcast? You've been on the
was
recap show.
Yeah, it was an.
Yeah, you can come on that whenever you want.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah,
that's,
yeah.
the podcast, we're getting that all figured out right now. You want $6 winner for Ozan? Okay.
Who's in that?
Let's go. This is what we're talking about. This is the community that we're building, Obi. This is the community that we're building. You know, like they see you put on $6 winners. They're seeing me put on some winners, you know, and this motivation.
Yes, for sure.
You know, my wife told me today, what's up to Marissa? You know, she's chilling out there, dropping the kids off. I don't know if I should go on these things because we have the markets ripping right now. Anyway, someone's like, oh, I'm going to get into day trading. She says, more people, as we know, fail at this than make money. So she recommended no, of course, dropped a very influential, inspirational channel to this person. Yeah. And, mentioned that we do have the best midday show around and the best educational content on the web, period. Yeah. Plus we have super.
Nobody's doing this kind of show live. Nobody else.
I'm trying to find a show similar to us. Yeah. Many imitated, never duplicated. I mean, we're pulling Obi from, huh?
They hate us because they ain't us.
It's like, don't hate the player, hate the game. You know what I'm saying, Obi?
Oh, I love the game.
I love the game too. I mean, I don't know if you guys can tell. Obi and I love what we do. There goes.
I might not be so good at it.
By the way, there goes Palantir. So let's go. I mean, nice. This is what we're doing. Do we have to go to Adara? Yes. All right. Let's go over to Adara.
We did just get these business inventories here, so slightly lower than expected. Business inventories month over month, negative 0.1 versus the consensus of 0 and the forecast of positive 0.1. Retail inventories ex autos coming in at negative 0.9, exactly with consensus and forecast there. The market itself not moving too much off of this, still positive on the day. We did get those U.S. retail sales numbers early today. So that came in for November, 0.3% to the upside versus the negative 0.1 expected. Just keep an eye on this here. Market still very heating up to the upside after that FOMC meeting and decision yesterday. In terms of individual stocks moving, Rivian up over 10% after the company signed an agreement with the AT&T basically for the purchase of Rivian electric vehicles through a pilot program. So keep an eye on this name, very strong. Also strong is Moderna, still up about 15 to 16% after announcing data from its trial for Merck with regards to melanoma patients. So this is a very strong name as well on the day. Brought to you by Surge Trader, where traders can get a funded trading account up to $1 million and keep up to 90% of the profits. The program has simple rules, no time limits. Just go to surgetrader.com/TTV and use the promo code TTV for 10% off.
How about those promo codes, baby? And there it is again, man. Let's go again. Let's ring that register, and this time it can pay for my gambling habits outside of work, because there's DraftKings. We just take a small little 10 cents. We did talk about fading that off of 39, so we're short at 38. Did we get two fills or no? Only one fill, so we're short 38.75. So we play the quarters, we take the 10 cents because it's kind of the bottom. I mean, the bottom's 50. We'll hold for more. Like we're at a half. So probably too many shares, but here we go. This is another one coming through right now. Again, we did get a little bit nervous about our Palantir trade, so we've been getting out of that one. This one's definitely not trading the way I thought it would. So we're out. So that's it. Like, that's pretty easy, right? And this is the thing. When stocks do not act accordingly, you get out. So, you know, it's come back in. We are going to give it to a 30. So we just got out. Like we bounced off a 50, a bunch of outs here, as you guys can all see. So we'll try it one more time. Let's try. We're going to get out. That VWAP is at 33. So let's just stick an order there and see what we can do. So we'll buy some more down here at 33. We're not going to average in now because that hits too much. And again, this is the logic that we use. If we're only getting 7 or 8 cents on the upside here, Obi, then we're not going to sit in something, an average in to something where our out, like we'll take it at VWAP, but if we're only going to get 7 cents, then our out needs to be something a little more reasonable than what we are maybe looking at right now. So we'll take it back in right here, get out, take a 4 or 5 cent hit if it breaks lower. So that's kind of the math that I'm using. If I'm going to get out on a break of 30, then I have to get closer to 30 for my out because the moves are not aggressive enough here for Palantir today. So that's not going to work out for us. But guys,
another one.
Not only that,
Another one.
get off of there. Let's just do this.
Like and subscribe today.
You know, because like, you know, Katrine's back there. She's putting in the work. She's getting going. I hope she's here today. Yeah, what's up, Katrine? Right there, hola to you as well. There it is, man. There goes SoFi. I sometimes say as it was written. What's up, Adara?
Charles Schwab here, CHW. All the banks are really strong right now, but Charles Schwab up about 6%, basically after reporting their monthly activity highlights, basically an increase of 12% year over year, and assets brought to the company by new and existing clients totaling almost 22 billion here, guys.
Schwab moving, a little bit of a bank movement like we were talking.
All right, Obi, what's good, my guy?
Nothing much. I'm just trying to stay patient, just in a tiny long, just trying to, I guess, probe some pressure here, and we're kind of slowing down in and around this 147 and change above this above the level here. But I do have a level kind of marked in on my sticky note, which is 147. So I might be a little too early for that, and yeah, the selling is coming in quite heavily. So and the NQs kind of testing the lower end of their range. We saw how choppy and churny yesterday was to start off with. Of course, FOMC gave us that strong push into the close, and it seems like this morning we're pretty much kind of chopping and churning around that same kind of action type of thing, where we go sideways, we kind of clip the highs, we clip the lows, but yeah, the tape is definitely very, very aggressive to the downside. Yeah, this quadrunk right here off of this 149, these sellers came in very, very aggressively, and I was just talking to Sean about kind of getting a little bit of FOMO on that 150 failure to follow through. Like, yeah, I did go long and I slammed out of it. Because I was like, yeah, if we're gonna push 150 40s and then there's no follow through the 150 40 and we come right back into the dollar, I don't want to get involved because that's a very strong reason to sell. And take a look, that strong reason to sell becomes into a great reason to sell as you get about a 2-point flush, 2.5 points off of that 150. We're testing 147 halves right now, but 147, I got to be patient as I have that as a key level or as the next potential stop there on Amazon. Kind of we're coming back into previous week's consolidation highs in and around these levels. So let me just show you guys what that is. Apple's still holding that 199, Sean. That thing is kind of winding up pretty much. I have it up here. It's holding it very, very well, about a 50 penny range on Apple after we kind of had that strong drive right off the open on that name. So maybe a little bit of a bid here, but here's the thing. I keep getting enticed by the beginning of some of these candle draws into like the first few, I guess, first minute or so. I use 3-minute candles, so the first minute kind of enticing for the long, and then the next 2 minutes kind of slam right back in. You can see that every candle kind of lower than the previous. So I'm just going to be a little bit more patient and wait for at least some change in behavior. Holy, take a look at Google. I had that 133 mark from 133.30s. Again, that same level, Sean, comes in again. So like, why am I not kind of respecting some of these levels? This is a multi-time frame level, and it gives you a double top consolidation above, which fails, and then you break pre-market low there on Google, that 133.30s, and now you've printed pretty much 2 points down on a name like this. These are hard sell candles. Take a look at at this on the 15th.
Okay, maybe that's the sell.
Take a look at this. We're breaking week lows right now. This is week low on Google is 131.30, and yeah, Google is attempting week low break. I think Softy's trying to do the same thing as well with those heavy.
These are big holdings of mine.
I'm telling you that the Monday. Okay, so Monday
shoot, that
low
took
on
370, dude.
Yeah.
Good one, yeah. What do you want to do then?
I think I'm going to stay on the sidelines a little bit, be a little patient. Wow, that long comes in off the 148, so maybe some change in behavior right here on Amazon, potentially here. I'm going to wait for some more candles to kind of print to really give some direction. Dude. If the sell is going to be heavy and we're going to stay in this downtrend, I do not want to get involved with the long. I know I'm just trying to be aware by speaking it into words. I have hit my 3-strike rule on Amazon trying the long. So I do have to kind of, that's why I looked away for a bit. That's why I'm taking a little bit of a break off of the Amazon. Again, a little bit of FOMO. We were talking about this. What triggers you into bad trading habits? For me, one of those things is missing a trade that I kind of planned for. One of them, again, being that 140 on AMD, and then I guess the 150 on Amazon as well. I tried the long, and that didn't really happen. That didn't really go too well for too long as it comes in and slams back down. I think the 150 failure to follow through was definitely it for that opening price action, and you got that wicking action on the NQs as well, which confluenced with that piece. Thanks, man. So that 148 holding as of right now. I'm gonna wait to have some more information. Google is printing lower and lower, and we're pretty much a few pennies away from week lows on Google.
Let's go to Adara.
Yeah, Open Door Technologies here, OPEN is the ticker, up about 17%. Yesterday, we got an upgrade from Keefe, Bruyette, and Woods. Second day of trading to the upside. Keep an eye on this name, guys.
So, by the way, I keep saying like I'm looking for something to short. Meanwhile, I get out of Palantir and it just continues to go down. Like that's probably the name to short. So there's Palantir. We got out at 30. It sucks. We'll go huge on AMD, huge on SoFi, pending right now on DraftKings. But I feel like Open Door, DraftKings, this is why I'm surprised about Palantir. And I actually think it's a good thing. If Palantir can move away from like this sort of this meme-ish kind of names like a DraftKings and like an Upstart, and I know people are going to be like, those aren't meme-ish names, but you know, like SoFi, names that we know can go. And maybe I need to figure out a way to better word this, but that's kind of like, you know, they're selling off. And we said this earlier. Remember I said that we're probably going through a little bit of a rotation. And what I meant by that is that I feel that selling in these names that have led us here, because there's sort of been a flight to safety. Like everybody's going to Microsoft and to Apple and to Google and to Amazon and to insert, you know, big name here, even the AMDs of the world. I mean, that's a little different because of AI, and people still think that's early days, which I'm not sure. Well, it's early days, but as far as valuations are concerned, we may be getting a little bit extended. But I could definitely see a pullback happening here in these names for next couple of days as people start to reposition their portfolios and get into names like Caterpillar and Deere and different things like that, exactly, as they get into some industrials. So with that being said, let's dig our own grave right now and start to short Microsoft. So here we are. We're shorting Microsoft now, and nice little move back up. The market just hit that bottom of 16.8. I had the professor beside me say, you know what? Apple keeps on finding levels and being bought back up. So I understand that. You know, as Apple goes, so does market for sure. So we're going to have to be very, very careful with this. I'm giving this one to 371 and averaging up. So I'm going to stick with my guns and believe that we do have a shorting opportunity here in some of these big names. And I'm going to start the party off right here with Microsoft for the short. Yesterday, people were like, man, why is this guy doing this? We blinked and we were in the money. So let's see if that can happen again right now with Softy. We're short here at 80. It's only 20 cents in the money, but here we go. Oh no, did that just hit 50s? There it is. There's a 30-cent win for us on Microsoft again as we talk our way into this trade. So far so good as we continue to short some of this. DraftKings as well, trying to come back in. We don't have the greatest price on this one, but we're trying. And then, like I said, let's do a little bit here and try to hold on to some AMD, because although I do think the market could pull down, if it does, then it's going to be the Microsoft show one more time. So we'll wait for that. But for right now, we're short Microsoft, long AMD, short. Man, tell me to slow down here a little bit, Obi. AMD long, DraftKings short, Microsoft short, SoFi long. But the SoFi position is just one of these we smoke in because we're out. We're out of SoFi. Like now I have 1% left. Literally 1%. WFC. Oh, that was the newest position that just entered the building. So I said I'd buy dips. This came into VWAP, but we're almost out of this one. If this breaks too much below here, like 80s, I actually got to figure out the stop here on WFC because we were gonna. This just came in pretty good there as we were trying to manage our other positions. But right now, WFC coming in. Watch out for a 48.80 break. It's starter position here on Mr. Fargo.
Nice. We finally caught a little bit of long there on the Amazon. That 148, that was a little too early. Got clipped about 40 pennies below. But then when it comes back in and shows some strength, I do get long again, kind of getting involved there. I did also like Google kind of coming in into the week lows and then catching a bit of a bounce. It sold off pretty strongly, and a bounce off of weekly structure I think is a pretty strong area as well. So let's see whether or not Google kind of pushes, if those buyers on those weekly buyers kind of show up at these same levels on Google down here in the 131 halves. So we're going to test that out. So 149 potentially coming right back in. So yeah, we're getting a decent reversion back into this previous consolidation area in and around that 149. So let's see how far that can get on the Amazon there.
Let's go to Adair quickly.
Intel really strong right now, up 4.5+% during its AI Everywhere event happening right now, introducing some new products and some new processors to their portfolio, guys. Intel.
AMD is $2 in the money. Wow. As our friend Softy keeps going down, like, man, are we honestly, dude? We're pretty on one here over the last little while. Like, I don't. It's been good. It's been pretty good. Anyways, yeah.
Pretty solid.
Amazon, you got the double barrel longs, eh? All right,
like the 149.
Yeah, I don't mind.
We'll see. I think Google might need some more space.
There it goes. Softy,
but yeah, we'll see. I like the Amazon long as well. Again, I'm gonna give Google a couple tries down here as it is the weekly support, and whether or not that comes in, I have no idea. But I think that the longs have kind of shown themselves in and around some of these prices. So we'll try that a couple of times there on the Google and see if that kind of works. But it seems like if we kind of clip those lows, more than willing to get out and reassess and try again at a lower level there. Again, I think the 131.30s or 131.20s is where that week low is. Amazon working well as of right now. Consolidation lows kind of testing here on the NQs. And yeah, Microsoft looking, it was relatively weak yesterday and it's super weak today.
Did you short it with me at 370?
I did not.
Okay, that's okay. No, we're just playing around. But by the way, those of you that did short it with me at 370, not $1 yet. We got 90 cents as it's coming in right now. So it looks like this should be another one here for us as we get excited for Microsoft down into 369. And you know what, man? Think face. Put a bid. They take those 01s. I mean, it could don't. There it is. Okay, we'll spin it. Let's just do this now. No matter where this goes, I don't care. There it is right now. We are 92 cents in the money on this Microsoft trade as there it goes back down into the downside here for Softy. And wow, what a day. As we go. WFC is the only one that it looks like we will have to pay the piper on because it's making a move in. Now, we're long at 92. It's only at 88. This is far from a problem for us right now. But let's get a piece. Okay, let's get a piece out of 90 if we can. Did we get that? No, we did not. All right, so trying to get a piece out now. There it is. We actually got, did I get 89s or 90s? What did I do? I got 89s. So again, we're long. We were just long at 90. It came back up. So we take a piece out there. Let's see if WFC wants to work back into 91, 92. If this works for us, then man, this has been good. So let's keep on that front. Microsoft, good out there. I hope your longs are going to work. I feel like the market could bounce. There goes Microsoft. We just took a piece out at 369. Out more now. Out of some WFC and just looking for some more, man. 16.8 is going to break, and there it is right now. There goes 16.8 on the market. It's a flush, and there goes DraftKings as well. Oh no, DraftKings now 25 cents in the money at the low of the day. We have the top, we have the bottom. It's DKNG. And by the way, what's up to DK Metcalf? He better have a good day this week, good weekend as he plays for the Yay Sports Seattle Seahawks right there. And we've got Mr. DK Metcalf in fantasy, but DraftKings taking your fantasy money, but not mine, because right there we'll slap it upside a little bit as there goes DraftKings. Wow, we're 5 for 5 or whatever it is here today, and all different names, man. AMD, sticky no name. SoFi, sticky no name. See you later. Microsoft, Knowledge, that's a good one. Oh no, we're not 5 for 5. Palantir, 4 for 5. Look at Palantir. The reason why this might be a win, Obi?
Yes. Wow.
This is why.
Still holding some?
No, that's why this is a win. No, we're long. We lost.
Okay.
But it's a win because we're out.
That's solid. That's absolutely.
Yeah. So that could have been a lot worse than possibly a first thought for me right there as we get out of the way of Palantir and it just continues to fall down. It's only, today seems to be going a little slow. I don't know. It's only 10:20 right now. But when we get back, I'm going to throw to you, Obi, and then we're going to discuss what's for lunch after that.
Ooh.
Obi?
Yes.
What do you want to talk about?
Oh, okay.
If there's any trades you have on board.
Passing it.
No, we'll do lunch in a minute here.
So
I don't want to get people too hungry.
I'm still in that Amazon long there. We kind of pulled back in. I was getting a little antsy for the stop out, but you know what? I held on because I was like, no real reason to kind of sell has shown up as of right now, and the market was dumping, but then Amazon had a little bit of a stall. It wasn't really following along in that step. I do want to try this Google long one more time here before I leave it alone. So we'll get that in. So
is that your French history where you're the Google? Like, is that, or just because there's an L at the end?
There's an L, and there's also Goog, right?
Right.
So
I
just to
get
differentiate the two. So GOOG between the Class A and Class C shares
sure.
there. Yeah, I like the Goog. The Goog is nice.
Do they not know what we're doing here?
I don't think they didn't.
If you guys can hear in the background, we're in an office building, and I feel like, don't you feel like that there's too many fire alarm checks or fire drill checks, or maybe the government needs to like think about this, because like, is that the fire marshal? No, but it's like I feel like we get one monthly.
Yeah, and I think so. Yeah. I've been.
You know, it's probably for the best. I mean, I don't know. I mean, safety first.
Or maybe the detectors
safety.
are picking up your super hot fire trades.
Maybe that's. Man, Obi, Neil can stay home. Yeah, Obi is killing it here. I like the ego boosts, for sure. All right, so it is now sector watch, as now there's. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
It'll be all right.
Yeah. Okay. Hopefully you guys don't hear too much of this in the background, but there is a fire alarm test happening. But from one fire to the other, it's sector watch. Let's see what's on fire in the sectors.
DNA here, moving up to the upside. Ginkgo Bioworks receiving a grant to develop live cell delivery platform of antibody therapeutics. So this is definitely one of note right now. We also have TPI Composites basically announcing a refinancing transaction with Oaktree, up about 45% right now. Last but not least, Quadruple C, C4 Therapeutics, CCCC is the ticker here, looking for another day of running. We had some news on a trial from them on Tuesday. Then yesterday, we also did have an analyst move as well. So CCCC, definitely one to watch, guys.
Yo, what's up,
That's
Mr. President?
wild.
In the chat, or Prime Minister, we just found that out, so thank you so much for being here with us today. Mr. Trudeau in the chat. Yeah, about those taxes and everything. All right, so let's just go here. Microsoft downside, Wells Fargo. I mean, Obi.
Yes, sir.
There's the buy the bank logic right there as we buy those dips in. So again, you know, to each their own, but I really like the theory of sticking with your guns and trying to figure out what you're doing and then doing it more often. So there it is. The only problem was we did buy VWAP. That didn't work, so we went one level lower. This was a risky trade. There's no doubt about that. And I'm proud to make it, but definitely acknowledging that there was a little more risk associated with this one here with Wells Fargo. So back up again. Let's just keep on doing it.
Yeah, I like this. The Amazon kind of holding near some of these levels here, 148 halves, kind of above that consolidation, holding underneath this one. But I'm just looking whether or not if the market kind of wicks up, which it has been, and it gives us a little bit of a bounce for this to come into that 149 potentially. And I think I'm trying Google here one last time to see if it kind of comes in. Buyers off that level again have been quite strong. You get those strong wicks, and we don't hang around too long around these prices on Google. So let's see whether or not those guys come in again. But yeah, the market kind of chopping off of this range. You had that wick high that kind of clipped the upper end of the range. We're doing a little bit of clipping of the lower end of the range, and yeah, you can see that. Look at that, those pops kind of on that candle formation, kind of pulling back in. So let's see whether or not the buying kind of comes into fruition there. Google still getting lower and lower, so not the best here. Maybe these buyers kind of need some more time. Whether or not they're there, I have no idea. But I don't know. We'll see. They've shown their hand a few times this week. But I guess the trade was I don't have it written down on this sticky note, but I do have it in my notes from before, that 133. You guys have seen the line on my chart as well for the past few days also. So Google, that 133 and change, kind of a key significant area, and every time we kind of just keep on magneting back through into that area. So I guess ideally I'd want to take it from 131 halves back into that 133 and change off of some of these lows. Whether or not we're going to get that today, I have no idea. Markets kind of pushing in and around their highs. I think all-time highs yesterday was that 16. Was it 16.860s or 16.760s? I think it was no, 16.8. It was underneath the 16.8, so it had to have been 16.760. So we're holding above that. I gotta look here. We're holding above that 16.8 from yesterday as of right now, even though we're pretty heavy back into that level. So let's see how far we can get off of that. 148.70s coming in on the Amazon there, so 149 just right there. So if we can hold these 70s and push into the dollar, we'll have reclaimed some of this consolidation range from before. But yeah, I'm looking for that 149 potential retest. I don't know if we're gonna get all the way back to 150 today, but that's well within range, right? Amazon does an ATR of around 3.6 that I checked a couple of days ago. So let me just check again as the ATR kind of updates every few days or so. You're looking at DraftKings?
I mean, DraftKings is another 60 cents in the money. I mean, I was telling you in the chat, like, who remembers discussing this one? We were just going over some of our positions there with the SoFi long, which we're out of. With, by the way, look at Wells Fargo is now 30 cents in the money as well, as that continues to go back up to the upside. So, like, this has been really good. I'm not going to check my month or anything, but this is good. We did get out of SoFi right there when it broke through VWAP. We got out of our last 4% of that. So that's out of there. Microsoft is still bouncing around, and then we are almost out of all of DraftKings. Like when that came right into this low, I mean, I know it's not the low of the day, but that right there, like I was sort of thinking like a VWAP retracement, which is why we got out there, and then we got out at another level. So for traders out there that are like, okay, how do you pick your levels and things? Maybe I'm giving away too much of the secret sauce here, but it's not rocket science. There's nothing difficult about what I'm trying to do here. It's looking at charts, and honestly, I've just learned to do this in the last like year and a half. Like I didn't, maybe not even that much time, maybe half a year. Like I've just gotten better at finding out levels and trying to hold things. And you guys remember, if you were with me during this whole journey, I want to thank everybody, first of all, for being here for that long. And second part of it, this is going into our third year, I think, maybe even more than that, I'm not sure. But I used to get out so much, hit bigger shares and take 5 cents, 10 cents, 20 cents. But to be able to hold something to get back into this level, and especially like a trade like SoFi and things like that, and then understanding like why not to hold something all the way back down, because you have a little more invested than maybe take more shares, respect your levels, is kind of what we're getting at. And then even the ability like this to trade second day names, despite holding this very, very long in your own portfolio, to trade price action. And I mean, levels, this kind of stuff moving around, I like. And here we go. Now Microsoft again, let's put that on the board one more time again for another one. 4 years in March. Thank you so much, Daryl. I mean, this is exactly, there's Microsoft, the dollar, there's DraftKings, 50 cents. There's, I mean, AMD, again, on AMD, I have 5% left, so it is what it is. And look at Wells Fargo. Right back up to the 50 period. So yeah, man, we'll ring that register. Today is a good day. So shout out to Ice Cube and everybody out there. Although it's not Friday, tomorrow is Friday. And we're going to have another amazing day tomorrow, regardless of the net. We're here, we're trading. We love this job. We love being in front of everybody. We love educating. I love being with you here, Obi. I know you're going to be here tomorrow. Neil will be here, but you'll be in the back. And yeah, it should be, again, another great day as we have rebalancing tomorrow.
Big day.
So another big monster day where we're going to have tons of volume coming through, and everybody in the back will be ready to rock and roll, and it should be a fun day, both at open and at the close. And yeah.
Yeah, I think really anticipating the end of year rebalance tomorrow. I think we have some potential opportunities that
Uber goes in, right? 200 million shares.
And we've seen the bid, how strong the bid has been going into the mark as well. I'm watching Uber today. Okay, we get stopped out on Google below that week low. So okay, you know what? I violated my 3-strike rule there, but I was like, okay, this is a structure low and we're consolidating, so I maybe want to give it some more. But we do get that 149 on Amazon. You come in, you clip the 90s and then come right back in. So I pieced off of all of the position there. And yeah, Sean, talking about his softy, just keeps on making lower lows underneath VWAP, and can't really stop. I have 367 as a potential support level, so we're still a point away from that. So if this is going to tank.
Yeah, I mean, I still have a piece.
I should have told you that a couple minutes ago.
What?
367 as a significant support. You covered everything?
No. Still have a piece. I'm covering a piece now. This is a nice move down as the market's trying to break again 16.8, and we do it. But right now we do have a Adara at the desk. There's some news about Disney and some board members, so we'll check that out when we get back. But what's up, Adara?
I just have the Bitcoin chart open here on the day. So we are pulling back a little bit from that 43,000 area. But as you can see, yesterday's daily candle, very strong for Bitcoin after the FOMC decision. Lots happening here, running to the upside. In terms of the actual other cryptocurrencies right now, yeah, Bitcoin very much below that 43,000 right now, about that 42,300 area. Ethereum actually just below that 2,300 area. 2,275. Everything else pretty mixed. Solana up about 6%. So this is definitely of note. And Dogecoin up about 3%, guys.
Yeah, what's up to Futuristic, man? I mean, great trade there. He went short AMD at what? I should have, you know what? Like, I don't have, I keep telling you guys I don't have that many shares because I don't. But there it is, man. When will you guys have access to options? We're trying it. Anyways, congratulations to Futuristic on that trade. You can see the future. All right, Disney right now. Trian talking again. This is Nelson Peltz. Maybe Adara, if you could. I just hearing in my ear something about board seats for Disney. So it's not really moving around, but I just didn't know if there's something there. I don't see it on my Benzinga, but something. So anyways, we'll wait to see if Nelson Peltz is going to talk about these guys. Great, I think, because, maybe Disney does need some activism in it, right? I was going to say Activision Blizzard, but, right there, nice move through.
Ticker.
ATVI, yeah. Yeah,
was a
whatever.
good one.
Was it? $96 there for Disney. So we're looking for a break on that one, as I know, of course, Activision was a buyout, and you could sort of rebate trade that.
No, not even. It gave you a solid range.
Yeah, I know.
Every day it would give you at least a 30 to 40 penny range. So forget about the rebate trading.
People know my opinion on rebate trading.
It was just it was like more of, it was a momentum. It was a buyout that did momentum ranges, which is which is crazy because you know how much liquidity you can push in some of those names.
Yeah, right? No, ATVI was good. And that was another one with Berkshire, right? Warren Buffett was in there actually buying as well. So, again, another good name there and good look on that one, Obi, for sure. But Microsoft, a good look. DraftKings, a good look. We just took some more out of Wells Fargo. Like, everything right now is a good look, but we have to look at lunch. All right, let me see if I can find it. So yesterday we actually had beef meatballs, and we forgot to talk about it. So it was meatballs yesterday, very, very processed. These are not, these are some munja cake meatballs, But all right, so let's move forward here today. So yesterday was beef, so the chances of today being chicken are pretty good. So if you guessed it, you probably do have a chicken dinner winner on your hand, and it's a Cajun grilled chicken. Not bad. With roasted sweet potatoes. When you get the Cajun in there, it is nice to have the sweet potatoes, so you get a little sweet and spicy action there. Combo. With, this is not horrible, with a black bean and charred pepper succotash. We've lost our way here, but that's fun. So that sounds pretty good for lunch. So that was what's for lunch. And that's not me barbecuing that up. That's the button we want to hit. That sounds pretty good, man. A Cajun grilled chicken. It's probably a chicken breast. It just says Cajun grilled chicken with roasted sweet potatoes, black bean, and charred succotash. So again, if that's your thing. That's your thing. Yeah. It's 10:30. I get the salad because, quite frankly, sitting down here all day. A little bit of a warning letter for Chewy, as I think they were selling a mislabeled there. Chewy, one of 9 manufactured distributors to get FDA warning about unapproved, misbranded antimicrobial animal drugs. Damn, Chewy.
Back at it again. With
as long as I can hear in the background Ramin laughing, then I know it's at least something. So there goes Chewy again, breaking a little bit here down to the downside. So if you're a holder of this, once amazing, and I actually was part of the IPO of this name as well. I probably do hold some shares, which would be disastrous now, but this name was really working during the pandemic, as of course everybody's stuck at home. And if you are a pet lover like yours truly, then I know Sharif as well over there. You gotta, thing is, like, you tell me this, Obi, why the hell does my dog and cat need Christmas presents?
Is that a thing? I mean, it's
thing?
It's part of the festivities, right?
Where's Neil?
You give your loved ones a gift, and if you love your pet, you want to share that happiness.
Yeah, you're right. I can't ever say no. But it's like we go shopping. I was with my wife because I had the scheduled day off Monday, and I actually have another scheduled one next week. And we were out shopping, and it's like, oh, our dog's name is Belle. Oh, Belle would like this. Belle would like that. Hey, how about maybe I would like a new hat or something like that as well? Oh, by the way, here's the credit card. Like, that's great. Like,
yeah. No, I get that sometimes too. Like I'll be walking around and I'll be like, I have 2 cats if you recall, and I'll be like,
that's right. Yeah, you're the cat.
Like, yeah.
So did they get gifts?
Every now and then, but like maybe not specifically. But if I'm like walking around, I'll be like, oh yeah, she'd probably like that. Like that's pretty cool.
There's nothing wrong. I'm just
the funny thing though is like one of my cats, Nina. She's like. She loves the hair ties.
Okay, so playing around.
You can get her whatever toy, but the hair tie is beyond everything else. So just simple hair ties, she goes crazy over those. But she has all these other toys, which are a lot more intricate, a lot more expensive, and she'll play with it for like a little bit, and then she'll just, you know.
Do you and Neil have these conversations when he's here, or it's just more all about
But
trading?
we're talking about pets, right?
I know. I love it. No, I love it. I love it. Look at Tesla. Wowsla. Tesla today. I mean, here goes 250. Maybe that I called 280 back at the beginning of the month. I thought we were in trouble because of the way EV was going. We had Lucid, but now at Fisker and I mean, basically Polestar, you know, pretty much like bankruptcy talks, like, you know, Nikola, like imminent on some of these names we thought. Now, all of a sudden, with what's been happening, I'm guessing with rates, the thing about cars, let me just look at Ford. So I don't know, I haven't looked at Ford today, but I'm gonna guess that it's up, despite the market being flat or red now. And the reason is, first of all, Microsoft is now $2 in the money. The thing about everything is with rates, right? As part of you know, buying a vehicle is financing for many people, including, you know, me as well, obviously. I mean, if you can get a good rate on financing and a good deal, why not do that? So there's Ford again. So yeah. So again, Tesla, Ford, GM. This is good news. I mean, look at Ford swooping off that bottom of $10. We talked about that a couple times over and over again. You know, buy some of these dips. Now, this broke 11. I believe 11, well, yeah, okay, I was gonna say, I believe 11 was the area of concern for support for Ford. But again, you know, with UAW and then just not a great report. They actually wound up selling, I believe it was less F-150s than they thought, although the Ford F-150 is still America's #1 bought vehicle. I think that came out last week. So look at this, huge move up for Ford, retaking that $11 mark. Again, Obi, I know this is probably not a name for you, and Ford's kind of in the same spot it's been for 20 years. So Obi, on advice, please do not invest in Ford. But Tesla, I don't mind it as an investment, but for the...
So you're telling me only sell calls?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, do everything in the option market if you can. But no, yeah, no, I like Ford. I mean, at this level, it's probably something good. But again, I just feel that if you're looking for the growth names, I would still stick with the big dog here with Tesla, and then worry about when this breaks below again, like $2. And again, Tesla, another thing that a lot of traders, and myself included, didn't realize until we looked at it, Tesla is at the same spot it was at 2 years ago. So we could sit here and talk all about missing the boat on Tesla or whatever, but this goes back here. Let me just do a weekly chart on this quickly, as just should be a little bit easier to see. So this level right there is February of 2021. So I shouldn't talk about exactly about 2 years ago, because 2 years ago today would be right here, 217. You know, so you're up an amazing $30 on Tesla in 2 years. Not good enough, and you've had to
hold through 100%.
That's what I was going to say. You had to not get out, but then you also had to hold to 100% down.
Yeah.
Well, 50% down to $100. So again, a little bit of a wild name there for Tesla. Let's see if it can continue to work here in what is a new rate environment for everybody, and I believe it does work. So good job for Tesla, and good job anybody long, and just a good job trading today, I feel like, for many traders out there. So congratulations if you rode that long. We're still in this Wells Fargo long as well. That seems to be a little bit top heavy. We are out. We only have 20% left. So let's get some more out at 13 if we can. And let's go over to Adara for, did you say Sector Watch? Then we'll say it as well, Sector Watch.
Lots of weakness here in this technology services sector, as you can see, led by Adobe after its earnings and its acknowledgement during said earnings report of some antitrust related issues. Microsoft, Meta, Google, all the mega caps in this sector to the downside. In terms of electronic technology, Apple really strong after breaking all-time highs. NVIDIA a bit more neutral here, but Broadcom continuing its rally, and Intel one to watch with its AI event going on today and the introduction of some new processors to its roster. Pretty strong across the market. Finance very strong as well, with the exception of Berkshire Hathaway. Health technology a bit more mixed. Eli Lilly very much to the downside, but lots of strength in producer manufacturing, energy minerals. Consumer durables led by Tesla to the upside here, but consumer non-durables a little bit weaker. Retail trade a bit more mixed here, guys.
Thank you, Adara. What happened?
She did a quick 1-2 step like forward and back.
Oh, okay. That's cool, man. As we have everyone feeling really good around here these days, which is great to see because, get in that jolly spirit.
It's the holidays.
Yeah, why not, man? Why not? What is your preferred holiday drink? Could be alcoholic, non-alcoholic.
People say eggnog, but I don't really like it that much.
Mine is eggnog.
Is it actually? I don't know.
Yeah, I like rum and eggnog. For a holiday drink, you gotta have the rum in there. And for those of you,
maybe you can bring some in and I'll try some of the one you like.
Consider that done. There'll be eggnog here later, maybe tomorrow. Today's Thursday, Friday. Yeah, sure. I'll go out tonight and get some. And if you
What do
did
you like though?
I just said, yeah, rum and eggnog.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down with that. By the way, DraftKings, I don't know who would have given you this one either, but there it is. DraftKings, $1 now in the money on that one, and we'll tweet that out. And we talked about why we like that DraftKings low side there. And again, it's just the tranches. How many outs, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're still holding 20%, but each one of these levels, again, nice move down in, and now you're at the pre-market bottom. So probably an area of concern to get out. But I had something to say there, and I don't remember what it was. Okay, so yours is not eggnog. Oh, that's what it was. On the podcast, we talked about some fun things, and Brendan brought to our attention oat nog. So it's eggnog, but not with the cream base, the dairy base, but with similar to oat milk.
Okay.
A nog that is oated.
Oh, is for if you're I guess
dairy adverse.
Yeah. I definitely. Okay, yeah. I might need the oat nog. Oat nog? Yeah.
You need oat nog?
Maybe. Not too much.
I cannot guarantee that I'll be bringing oat nog, but I will try to give you some oat nog as well. What eggnog is this? So it's like a spiced milk, a thicker milk. I don't know the percentage of it.
Yeah.
It's probably 4 or 5%. I don't know, but you don't drink it like a glass of milk. It's kind of, and a little. Oh, we watched the other day National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and I actually have that reindeer, the moose cup that he has.
Okay.
Have you seen this movie?
No. But that sounds like a really cool cup. It has antlers and everything?
Yes.
That is really cool.
It is the sickest cup. Anyways, they're drinking, Randy Quaid and Chevy Chase, they're drinking, it's not Randy, drinking the eggnog there from those cups. So as Wells Fargo goes back up to the upside here, nice move at 49.20 now as we continue to rock and roll. We're going to leave everybody in 15 minutes and throw you to the midday show, but we are cooking right now. One red trade today is going to be Palantir, and that's that. And it wasn't even red until this move. Are we down? We are down on it. Oh, well.
I got a lot of red trades.
No, it's not. Okay, yeah. Do you want to discuss that Amazon at 150? Did you want to go over that, or do you want to talk about some of the trades you were just in?
Yeah. So I was pretty aggressive in on that Google level as well, in and around those 131 halves, 131 20s as well, about a 15-20 penny range. I got a little too aggressive on that, but I think I managed the risk well. But in terms of aggressiveness, way too many tries there on that level. Clearly, there's some strong selling, and maybe I don't know. I don't really like to speculate, but we just broke all-time highs, and we're getting a strong pullback. So maybe some profit taking on that first clip. I really want to see where that consolidation starts to happen. If we're going to hold anywhere around these all-time highs and continue on going forward. Again, this is a bigger picture move. We've been running up all year, right? So if we're going to blast through these highs, we've come up pretty hard in 12 months. So I think some profit taking in and around all-time highs is valid, and we might be seeing that strong sell might be that case there. So yeah, Google and Softy and a lot of these some of these AI names pulling back a little bit more than Apple and some of the other ones like we just saw in the sector watch there. But another name, we were talking about this in the morning. You were talking about money moving around, and things like Costco have been running. Sure, we get a strong sell-off today, but off that 600 break, very, very strong, pushing all-time highs off the 600 break a couple weeks ago, and it goes about 50 points or 45 points right there being the high off the 600. I'm curious to know what AVGO is up to today. Probably a little bit of a pullback. Absolutely not.
Everything I'm putting on, dude.
We were talking about, do I have it on this No, I have it written down somewhere. Again, I wasn't really going to trade it, but I was like, watch that 1100 on Broadcom, because every single day the opening drive on Broadcom has been ridiculously strong. So you can see every day it gives you about a 20-point plus move. Some days even more than that. You see a 50-point move here pushing into on the 1000 break every day right off the open. You can take the open of that first 15 and take it off on that close, and it's been working quite well. And even on a day like today where we get that strong flush on the market, AVGO is holding fast and strong to its momentum, to its trend. So I guess this is the real name in play on a multi-day run off of a 1000 break, pushing all-time highs on the AVGO. I think sometimes we look at these higher price names and we're like, oh, I'm never going to trade that. I don't have the risk to kind of get involved. But I think if you stare at it all day, there have been times that you can observe it gives you like a 1 point or even a half point area to risk. And sure, if you want to call some slip on that, maybe you give it an extra half to 1 point. But when you're getting 10 to 20 point moves, I think that giving it that kind of risk is more than valid and very well needed if you're trying to capture that kind of move there on a name like this, right? So I'll quickly pull it up and we can observe what the current spread might be as we kind of wait for Google to potentially come back and reclaim that 131. So here, I'll pull it up for you guys here on the level 2 so you guys can see what the spread potentially is. And take a look. Right now, the bid is sitting at 106.87 and the ask is sitting at 108.20. So it's about just under a 2-point spread, roughly like a 1 to 2 point spread right now. But again, I think that if you watch this in and around some of these key levels, some structure holds like this, look at that. You get that first kind of flush off the morning momentum. It comes back in, kind of stalls. It stalls at 118. The high is at 119.30. So it's giving you that tighter room to capture the move. Now you do have to be very, very precise, but that's not what I'm getting at here. What I'm getting at is that the opening drive every single day has been very, very powerful on this name. A little bit of a multi-time frame, momentum that's been coming in. That 148 holding very well here on the Amazon, and I'll continue to stay watching Google as well. I am kind of looking for those bidders to step back in. We've only sold off since the open on the market. So maybe a little bit of a push from the NQ, that 131 hold in consolidation. Again, I'm finding myself, if I get involved right into the momentum, it works well certain times, but if you don't have that tailwind and you don't have a lot of confluence, you do have to stay very, very nimble because the move can come in quite heavily, and that's pretty much what happened today. So I'll be watching for that bounce. We did kind of bounce off that 130.50. We're reclaiming those levels, those weekly levels there, 131.20s I was talking about. So maybe this is a case where that support is turned into resistance as of right now, because we are testing that same area, which is confluencing with that consolidation on the day as well. So a little bit of multi-factorial confluence happening here at that level, 131.20s.
That's it, man. We're making a shirt. It's going to be an Obi shirt. It's going to say something about factorials and confluence and everything. It's
got to have the accent for the confluence.
There's going to be some sort of a French accent somehow built into that one. But AMD just went for a AM dump, and I don't know. Yeah, I mean, from 140, we just broke it, went all the way down to 139. So, not confluencing with my idea of a long right now. So we did take a little bit of a hit ourselves on that one, but we're back into the long against 139. So let's try it out. We'll see where we can go here on AMD, but let's go find out what's up with the dollar, so on and so forth at the big desk with Adara.
Yeah, the USD is definitely one to watch right now. We just dipped below that 102. Now we're back. We're at 102 flat right now, continuing to move to the downside after the FOMC decision, basically saying that they're looking to pause the rate hikes. Because this is their third candle to the downside on the USD. very much a low level, lots of weakness here, one to keep an eye on as we, especially as we make that move below that 102 level. Also, yeah, it's on its way to its lowest level in over 3 months. Also worth noting with regards to some comments from the European Central Bank, basically saying that rate cuts have not been discussed and are not on the table for the euro, which has led to some euro strength over the USD right now. This is the euro to DXY chart, 4 days to the upside for the euro over the USD, guys.
All right.
So
yeah, go ahead.
NQ coming back into that 16.8. We kind of talked about how that was a little bit of a level yesterday, and we kind of slam right back into it and push right back through it. So that 16.8 level coming in on the NQs as of right now. ES still pretty much sideways, pretty much an inside price action for the most part since the open, and a little bit of the pre-market Globex sessions as well. Hasn't really ranged too far out of those points there. Yeah, AMD back through that 140, and like I said, I'm looking for that pullback consolidation in and around that 140 if it's going to show itself. But as of right now, that 139.5's testing, so it didn't really do a distinct hold of that 140. But taking a quick look left on the chart, I'll show you guys here. AMD, maybe a much better place instead of the 140 is to look for some support above what has been resistance here, and it seems like that 139. You can see those wicks. We were trying to play with that 139 for the past couple of days as well, and yeah, that 139 might be a better place to look for a potential bid. That 140 high not really showing any sort of I guess interest as of right now. We just slammed right through it into the 139. So let's see. Let's wait and see. I'm going to be waiting for consolidations. It is almost 11 o'clock there, Sean. So a little bit more patience definitely is going to pay here, I think.
Dude, like this has been, again, I want to thank Obi for being here, because I feel like you are definitely like the vibes, because like this AMD, we're now 70 cents in the money. Like we just bought this dip off 139. Those of you that asked me in the chat, I was like, I'm doing it. So there it is. Like, look at this, 139 dip buy, boom, exploding right now. On that note, we just tweeted this one out too. Remember we talked about DraftKings. I just canceled my stop. So my stop on DraftKings was a break of 39. So give that slippage. Let's give it 39.02 or 03, right? I mean, it's pretty liquid. So, you know, again, where are we short? We're short 78. So let's give that 25 cents worth of risk, right? We're now in the money $1.25. So 4 to 1 R to R right now. So let's think about that. I'm going to get out on a break of 37.80. So again, just so everybody's watching, 37.81. I never go exactly that penny. Sometimes it's, you know, sometimes you get wicked out, sometimes you don't. You know, it's just one of those things where it's more like habit to get out at those kind of levels. And I think that that's something that we can all learn a little bit. You never want to get out at the same level as everybody else, but you know, sometimes it's a good thing. And that's like, I mean, it saved me so much on Palantir. You know, we had that level. At that time, I guess it was probably VWAP. Remember, we had 1830, and I put in the keystroke here. I put in 1930. And so that's where we got stopped out right there. Then we bought it back, made money until eventually it dropped. We wound up losing 5 cents, but it was enough to put us red on the name. So we're going to have one red name here today. But if you guys, so again, we talk about being your own trader, but at the same time, we talked today as well about different sectors. And I talked about be careful with the Fed. And the one thing that we wanted to do was I just said banks, BAC and WFC, buy dips on banks. Like we made it pretty easy there. So the very first dip opportunity that I had in the name that we wrote down on the sticky note, the first buy was VWAP. The second buy was the 50-period moving average, which happened to be 10 cents away. Then we were like, okay, well, you know, we're still here. So let's see what happens. Are we going to go back and take down this low? So then we averaged in probably about double our position there against that 75. So lucky to have that go up, came back up. We felt pretty good. We took 10 cents, and now WFC's right back up to the top of the day again. So again, buying dips and banks definitely working out. And there it is again on the reload. Another dollar winner here for AMD. So it just bounced off that though, so jinx. Let's see what happens now. There it is. We just got out. Nice move back up there for AMD. And yeah, man, it's been a great day. And it just sucks that it doesn't suck that we're over. I mean, I'm still going to be sitting here, but you know, I do like what we're doing here. But we do have an education. No topics this week, right? Just okay. Because yesterday you were sort of floating around. What? Okay, indicators with timing indicators. Timing entries and exits using indicators. So maybe I'll make a guest appearance. We'll see.
Sharif about to drop some knowledge.
Do it.
Like, subscribe, and share.
Wow, I'm just getting trolled today, baby.
This is
we haven't met the quota yet, right? The
Obi feeling good about
contract
himself.
Has a quota
Obi's trolling
apparently.
me, guys.
This is the talk I had with I think I forget, it was either you or Neil.
Yeah.
Maybe both of you.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, okay.
Neil back tomorrow.
I understand what's going on there. So we got to keep Sharif happy and.
Oh, but the contract, yes, thank you for that. Yes,
meets the contract specifications there. So yeah, Sharif.
Sharif gets very
Like,
mad.
subscribe, and
There we
share
go.
it to
Okay,
show
that was
things
3
don't
times.
hurt the market every day.
Yeah, so that's 3 times. So contract
They're
satisfied.
trolling me hard. Like
I still hear Sharif's mic is on. Oh, he was on the screen. Okay, good. Right, you were on. They heard you talking about the trolling there, so that was okay there. But it's Obi, and I'm glad that Obi has this confidence. So that's great, Obi. I got like the Chinese wall.
I gotta let that
Sharif.
confidence kind of trickle into some of these trades.
And it will. I just want to say, look, let's do a quick little roll call. I want everyone to make sure that they can stay. You have the roll call thing over there because I don't think I have it over here. Or you hit. No, that's Travolta. What am I doing? Do you have the roll? Oh, here, I got it. Let's go. Roll call time, baby. All right. No, I'm gonna lead it into your roll call there, Sharif. But let's not get twisted whose roll call it is. All right, so what's up to Michael Lloyd? What's up to Picky Eater? What's up to Brian Dobson? And I just want to say this all started because, again, look at all the nice comments, man. Say shout out to Obi here. Fred, what's up? What's up, Daryl? What's up, Ponzi Fonzie? What's up to Futuristic? Ryan is in the building. It's Kling Daddy, baby. Haven't seen you in a while. What's up, Kling Daddy? Charlie Taff is here as well. A $13 winner, so let's go on that one as... Yes, sir. There it is, man. It's the cash cow right there. Shout out to everybody that's here. And again, thank you so much to everybody. And thank you for the nice comments today about all the trading. And I just hope that all your winners or all your trading is profitable. And we're coming back, man. We're coming back at 2 o'clock. We had a great show yesterday. Yeah, shout out to everybody. We had a huge show yesterday into the Fed. So that was a lot of fun. I want to thank you for that as well, Obi. But yeah, man, lots of stuff happening. And again, entries and exits based on indicators coming up for everybody momentarily on the midday show. All right, Obi, hopefully it's Neil tomorrow. He has, he's back. Well, that's what we're thinking. He's at home sick today, so hopefully back tomorrow. His daughter's sick. Hopefully he's not. And then we'll see you around. Yeah. But you're back at 2 o'clock, so why don't you close this up with only 30 seconds left?
Yeah, no, it's been a pretty solid morning there. A little bit of a selling coming off of those previous highs that we clipped yesterday. So going into the afternoon, it'll be very interesting. I'm curious to know what we do in and around that 16.8. Again, Softy very heavy, Google very heavy. A lot of these chip names kind of consolidating in and around those highs. But maybe I don't know. We'll see what we have in store. But enjoy the How to Trade session with the midday.
Over to the midday, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you at 2 p.m. Peace. At some point.
I had Ram saying like, wait.
Yeah, I was like dancing in tune with like the way it's, hello everyone.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to Learn How to Trade, formerly